Hello everyone and welcome here to some Motorsport managing. Well, let me stop the music, press some things. I think we're... Oh, I'm an idiot. That's now sorted. If we do, we get nothing. Why are we not getting anything? There you go, it's just a bit late. So anyway, here we are. We're going to manage all of Motorsport. Well, not really. We're going to start with a new career here and we're going to get cracking. And now we're yellow, now we're back to green. Yes! Yes, we're professional right here. Something happened, I've got no idea what it is, but it absolutely crapped itself. For reasons that are... And why are we doing that? No. Now everything's just decided it shouldn't do the things that I tell it to do. And that makes me very, very angry. Oh well, we're gonna go in here. Yeah, that's fine. Everything's looking good and wonderful and fine and dandy, and I think the quality is all as it should be. I've got no idea what happened. Something shat itself. But here we are. Let me just very quickly verify on my phone actually that things are working before I continue. Otherwise, I'm just a weird, sad person who's talking to themselves, you know, on a Saturday evening, and nobody wants to be that. Yeah, everything is fine. It's wonderful. It's working dandy. So yes, welcome to Motorsport Manager. We are setting up our very own Motorsport motor racing team in what we're going to find out in a moment isn't actually Formula 3, but it is, but it isn't, and it isn't because it's old, this game. It came out in 2014, I believe, so it's quite old, and this is us. Who are we? Well, who am I? Well, I am Hunky Dory. I mean, why wouldn't I be? Let's just quickly get month right, because we are from August 1990, and we are Danish! Way! We are ex-driver, we are male, I can't really deny that. And hairstyle, there's only one hairstyle in this that we can go for, and I have a very specific criteria for deciding this. It is this one, because it plainly doesn't fit in the little thumbnail. That's just amusing to me. It doesn't fit into the thumbnail. It's great. Who doesn't want that? My hair's too big for the thumbnail. That's what we're going to go for. Some lovely dark hair, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we can have the world's greatest porn moustache. Yes, yes, porn moustache, and the biggest hair we can have, and some glasses. What more can we want? What more can we want? We're going to select a team, we're going to go into single-seaters, and we're going to go into European Racing Series, which is Formula 3 / GP2, but it's not, because they don't have a license, and it's very complicated. We're going to have to find a team here, and I'm going to try and go for a midfield team. I think that would be good. See, like something, not that, that's not a great colour for me, but Octane Racing, ooh, but see, they're a bit crap. They're slightly better. They get a higher budget, so what can we go for? Archer. They're kind of decent, but they've got crap mechanics. Wow, they have like no budget. What's going on with them? They're absolutely rubbish. Vexala Motorsport. They might actually be the ones to go for. And then we've got Silver, who's got high pressure. And we can also go in with... No, not you. We want to go in with somebody roughly midfieldish. Yeah, Vexala it is, even though they are horrendous. I mean, look at that colour scheme. Nobody wants to be seen driving that. So there we are, Vexala Motorsport. We're going to rock this boat out, as I hope everyone is doing good. We had the slight hiccups with connection. No idea what happened, but it happens sometimes. Hope you're all well, enjoying this Saturday leading up to Easter, which is very nice. A 3-day week next week, of course, which is just top level of everything we could possibly want. And here we are. There's a few things we need to do before we move any further. First of all, we got our stats here. I think they're just your starting stats, nothing really of note here. We're very secure right now. Meanwhile, we can go into our inbox and see. We can look over the pit crews. Yes, targets 2006. We're going to go midfield out here. We're going to go for 5th. And some reports out here. Is one of the top drivers, one of the stronger drivers. Let's just have a look in a moment. Design. Hello, hello. And we got Arne, or Arne. Our car is fairly mediocre. Let's just have a quick look and see what we can develop before we head into this. In 16 days, we are going to Sochi. That isn't Sochi. Top speed, acceleration, high speed corners. Now, the wings are spec parts, so we can't update those. It did say these were crucial, but our car is actually suffering on deceleration. We're above an engine, we're above in gearbox, so we're going to go straight in here and sort out those brakes, because we don't want to not have brakes. We can go in here. That's probably the best one to go for. You get these graded up in different groups. The first one you develop as average, which gives you 1 perk, and then the second time you develop brakes you get good perks, and then so on and so on. And then you get to have an option down here, and it's what it is. We'll get to that later on, but it's sort of complicated, and it sort of isn't. We'll go ahead and start building our first set of new brakes. So we're being deducted £550,000, and let's just confirm the year that we are in. Yeah, 2016 we are in. Our headquarters. We've got design centre, we've got a factory, we've got a few things down here that we can develop. Currently we can develop good parts, and that's about it. Our team, that's everything we have assigned right now. We've got a Finnish designer. I reckon, yeah, we are a Finnish team, given the fact that we have 1 driver and several other people who are, including the chairman, Finnish. So, Satana, because that's pretty much the only Finnish I know. Because, you know, we've all played My Summer Car. Anyway, we'll crack on here, move over to drivers. What can they do? Let's go in here, see Sergei Antonov. That's a great surname. Like, you're named after the biggest airplane in the world, and that's magnificent. He's quite old for Formula 3, and even though he is fairly decent, I'm not sure how long we're going to have to hold on to him. What about Merdia? It's Crazy Frog all over again. She's slightly younger. I mean, that's quite an issue for us, really. The older drivers, this is Formula 3. We need young talent. We need fresh meat in behind the wheel. So that's something we need to work on. Skill-wise, pretty good. Not very smooth. Otherwise, fairly decent. And Simone Santore is our reserve driver. Also, quite old for Formula 3, so we definitely need to start scouting out here. Our staff, we're not going to touch those. They're on the contract, and it's going to be very expensive. Pit crew wise, we can hire some people. We'll wait for that scouting. This is the crucial bit right here. Right now, let's get some young'uns in here and see, particularly if nobody's without a team, I think, are they? Or are they showing up? Let's sort out down here. We've got a few down here that is... They're all quite old. Let's be honest down here. Quite old. Let's get a scout on you. I mean, you're 22. That will be a significant improvement over the drivers we currently have working for us. So we'll go ahead and get some scouting done on her, as this game is indeed entirely correct in not having far too many men and not enough women. So it's very much equal playing field here. Correctly, well done, 10 out of 10 to the developers' place, but whatever the bloody hell they're called. And then we can probably get one in for Felipe Nunes as well. Just get them banged out here. Finances, yeah, it's fine. Sponsor-wise, though, we can sign on a sponsor or 2 or 1. Let's just wait and see here. I think it's pretty obvious which one we're going to go for. So, with new brakes underway, we'll go ahead here and speed up time. Oh, we need to look over here some stuff. Nope, everything checked out fine. Oh, we've got hair buddies with Jonathan. So let's see. Hunky has a wealth of experience at top level of motorsport, being one of the best drivers to have graced the track in recent years at Kujala. It was a very decent decision to make. Thank you, Kujala. I hope I don't do you wrong. When 20 is considered quite old, yes, but you have to remember this is a development series. Formula 3 what was back then GP3 and European Formula 3 is pretty much the first step. You'd expect it to jump into that pretty much straight out of karting. So 17, 18 really is when you want to be in this category and you want to develop your talent as a driver. Oh, we finished. Wow, that was quick. But yeah, you want to finish developing that skill set early on and then move on to I don't remember what it's called, Asia Pacific something championship here, which would be Formula 2. About 18, 19 years old, run there for a couple of years and then move up early 20s into Formula 1. Anyway, we need to improve our reliability first and foremost. Gearbox will go into that. We won't achieve it by the start of the next race. We can just swap them over here and see if... No, see, they're set up as they should be. So Polly Barker is a top lass. She's going to have that banged out far quicker than Carlos Guerrero will. As we will go ahead just to go through again. We're now being asked for an interview here in our inbox. Yeah, we'll have an interview. How can that go wrong, letting me do an interview? But it isn't the best team in ERS. What is your plan? We might not be one of the big boys, but I can promise that we're going to do our absolute hardest and aim to finish somewhere near the top. I'm aiming for a solid foundation. This season is about transitioning from one of the auto rounds into a top team. This year is about stabilising. We need to survive, pick up a few points and then kick on. Which really doesn't say anything. These are all non-answers. We're going to go very in hard here. We're going to give hard. We're going to fight and we're going to stick it to it. Which one is my favourite driver? Is it the Russian cargo plane, or is it the most Finnish woman to ever finish? Or are we going to go with the most non-answer of all, or are we going to tell them all to suck a fat one and we're going to replace them? That's what we're going to do, D, but we're just going to say C, because it sort of means nobody gets angry. We were expected to finish 5 in the Motor Racing magazine. Is that accurate, or do you think you can do better? That prediction seems fair, but I'm hoping we're going to surprise you, which I'm absolutely am, and my skills I'm able to transfer from driving that race car that you've all seen me do excellently so. In racing, the pressure comes at 200 miles per hour. This should be a cakewalk, which does seem a bit cocky to me. I'm not going to go for that. We're going to go for the I'm sure I'll be fine, just because people don't really freak out about me being too cocky coming into this. And I'm not keen about the weather, but we'll see that as soon as we get in there. Pause, because now everything's popping up here. We've got an offer here for you. Finish second or above, that will be a bonus point there. Wow, that's going to pay up a lot of dough if we go for that one. We're not getting any more offers, but there's not really any benefit right now for signing on here. And I need to have my phone ready to calculate all of these things out, because you can actually manage that somewhat correctly if you do. Email-wise, we've got a couple of new ones. Yeah, that's fine. We don't have the money, so stop telling me. Pause. Right here, we're going to go in and sign up some sponsorships. We're going to go in, quite obviously here, with RushJet Airways. We've got Antonov driving for us, so it only seems appropriate that a Russian airliner is sponsoring us. And look at that Dodge rolling in. I'm absolutely minted here. Now, who's the best one here? Because they both want exactly the same. But we can make a lot of money if we just get a decent result in Russia. Or we can go with you, which produces quite well, and we get... Yeah, I'm going to go with Wonderluck. They just seem like the best option here, given the fact I'm not 100% sure we can actually get second place first time out. Given that, and we will at least get 100,000 in from these poor sots who are willing to spend money on me. We can also look over in here. A good deal. That's a lot of money. Like, that's 2.2 million all in all. We get 200,000 now. And yeah, we'll just take Peach Plum. Yeah, mate, that's not a bad name at all to have as a sponsor, isn't it? We just got 2 testicles on the side of the car. Any scouting reports in just yet, or is that still being completed? That's still being completed. Sarah Thomas, let's just check out here and see. Yeah, everything looks fine from that point. kind of just want to be on top of that. So we're now going to travel to the Black Sea, to Sochi, but it isn't Sochi. What can we go for? We're probably going to go for Jandamal, which I'm assuming is Australian, because we can definitely do that, and the payout for you doesn't seem quite right just yet. In terms of part fitting, we are going to fit the new brakes onto the Finnish girl, or woman, because she's far older than that, and everything. Ooh dear, yeah, let's just move that around, because dear oh dear, you're going to be suffering a bit. So off we go to the Black Sea. Just skip through that, we don't need to be looking at it. A 10-round championship. I completely forgot to check out what the rules actually are, but I believe we need to use 2 tyre compounds during the race unless it rains, in which case, as with real motorsport, you are entirely exempt from that, and that looks very like Danish. They've definitely nicked that out of Denmark, but yeah, it's a bit of a hodgepodge weirdy thing. So here in the test session, we're going to go with Antonov and Maya Vartanen. There are 2 main drivers and our spare driver, or reserve testing driver. It is wet and it's going to continue wet, so yes indeed. We can already see some issues developing here before we head out. We need to increase our downforce and then send them out on intermediates. Likewise over here, we know downforce probably is warranted here, so we'll do that. We need to sort out our handling, because Varnanen definitely likes a bit of understeer. She's very much Sebastian Bourdais in that sense. So that looks fine. We'll go out here, take the practice, get some experience under our belt. Pause the time right here so we don't lose anything at all. We're going to send them out here on a quick installation lap, just to speed up time out here, just to establish where they're feeling about our current setup and bring them in and have them look over. We don't know what the race is in terms of weather, because quite frankly I didn't bother looking at that. But we're just doing a quick lap here. I'm assuming it might be a bit wet during the race. So, having them coming in now, sending them out on wet tyres might actually prove beneficial come race if it is wet. He's quite happy about his setup, and we will get more knowledge here as they do laps in practice. And that will narrow down this green band that you're seeing. So we'll find a more ideal setup, although this is a good starting point for Antonov with 87% optimum balance in the car, and I would imagine he wants probably a bit more downforce, but that of course shifts our handling and our acceleration a bit. I would imagine acceleration might be what we want here, so we're going to move you over. We're going to shift you over to a wet weather tyre, and oh look at that, she's very happy here with her power balance, 93%, as close to optimum as we can get. We'll just increase our wing angles a bit more here and see if... oh, see, yeah, that moves that one far too much. So maybe you to here, and then we need to... oh, see, that's a bit too wrong out here, but we can do with that, and then we can... that might be it for her. Let's give this a bash and see what she thinks. Put on those wet and see what we can get. Speed up time as they both go out. They'll give us feedback now as they're out here. Tell us if the changes we made has improved their car or not. Otherwise we'll just try and watch the times. So yeah, see, he's now already complaining about the speed balance feeling worse, so we'll bring him in. We'll see what Vatanen says. It's not helping, so bring him in. Again, we might not have gone the right way here, but we have gathered useful information about the car setup, so we should be able to set it up better here, because our setup window narrows as we turn laps. And indeed, yes, everything is significantly worse, so we might actually want to think about dropping a couple of degrees on this wing, and that moves our speed balance significantly. We might want to move that a bit more. Our handling wise, we're going to give it a bash and see if that might do it for him. We'll send him out on the same tyres. He's just done very little running on him. She's really not happy. Speed balance is excellent for Varnanen, not Vatanen, Varnanen. So reduce the wings here a bit. I think maybe perhaps we want to bring it in here, understeer. That was great before, so we definitely want to soften that up to about here. And then we can bring bang in right here. Maybe that will do the job for her. And she'll also go back out onto those wet tyres. So we're gathering data. It's drying up now, which is presenting itself as a bit of a problem if it doesn't, you know, stay wet. Oh, but we unlocked another set of knowledge level. It'll give us some benefits later on. And now they're both sounding far happier with everything. These are pretty decent drivers, actually. They're giving us a lot of setup information. We'll go ahead, we'll bring them in both now and see what it is. Get a bit of change to the setup if we need that. And then send them back out again on perhaps a different tyre, because it's drying out now. Doesn't hurt to have a bit more experience. Oh, look at that. This is one happy chap. We're sitting on 94. So what we want to do now, try and do a few tweaks here. See if what we want maybe is this, but we don't really know. Race-wise, we'll move you over onto some super softs. Get you rolling out here. Let's see about her. Oh, look at that. Look at that. She's very happy with me. 97%. I mean, it's so tight really here. Let's just see, maybe just move that back a little bit. Move you over onto the super soft as well. As we get stuck in here with the final part of this practice session. They're heading out here. We're now just waiting for that feedback to come in. Final minute of the session. So whatever we're doing here really is just a confirmation of what we did. Loving the handling. 10 out of 10. That's not what we need to know about. We need to know about your aero balance. What about Antonov? Perfect gear ratios. Yeah, we know about that. That's not really what we want to know. We want to know about the aero, but that's it for that session. So now it's the race. We finished 4th, some time off, but there were some weather interference there as well. We'll crack on here and see what the race was. Yeah, it looks wet. Looks wet. What's the weather gonna do? They suggest we start on inters. I disagree. I mean, we might as well go in here. Race trim. We've got some performance boosts out of the knowledge we gained from practice. We're going to go with the wet tyres. It might come in later on. But we'll go in here with you, get some level 3 race trim and some light-footed and medium tyres so they don't wear out as much. Car setup. Let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, we definitely went backwards with Antonov, so we'll just revert to that. Tyre-wise, you're going to start on super softs. Just because that seems like a far better idea really here. I mean, that's pretty much just exactly the same. No, we moved out of it. Okay, so setup wise right there. Let's just see. Okay, so we're just looking at 0.2 of a degree down here. Right, look, what were you were 24.4, so yeah, 24.4 or 97, so that should now be as optimum as possible for her. You will start. Oh, we were on mediums because we're running super soft and softs. That's quite annoying. Anyway, yeah, let's try this and see what we can do. This is actually, yeah, that's all right. I think we're going to roll a dice here and see what we can get. This might get us a very good result indeed. Yes, I am going to disobey the weather conditions out here and get going. I clicked the wrong button, guys. So we've got William Evans on pole, Tanvir on second, Sergio Valdez, Sergio Arabiola, then Antonov, then Nick Shu, then Mustafa El Sadat, and then Meha Vatanen. No, Varnanen. There we go. First one. And that is it. And here we are, ready on the start line. Ready. Lights are out. And they're out. Away we are here. Terrible start by Antonov, it appears. Shu's up into the 5th place. Well, Vananen drops to 9th as well. They're clearly suffering from being on a dry, slick tyre in these tricky conditions. You guys are going to have to absolutely get a wiggle on right here, right now. This was a gamble that probably didn't pay out for us as we are just falling down the order. Vananen is already down in 20th. I have made an absolute I mean, I can't really say what I've done. It's an absolute shit show. Antonov dropping down as well. So we're just going to have to stick it out, but it does look to be drying out later on. They're absolutely thrashing the tyres out here now. Just trying to get some heat into them. But again, it's a 29 lapper. So this might come back because they're all on their slick tyres. Well, they're on intermediates. We're going to move them over to conserve right now. We want to try and just... It's a bit damp. No, we're going to stay out here. We're just going to drop everybody down to low engine modes, conserve tyres, just look after it, and hope that whatever we get, it's going to benefit us when the other cars pit. Meanwhile, up front, we're looking at what a fairly stout battle. Well, not really. We have definitely got some battling down here with Valdez and Marchetta Bouchamp, and they're pretty much just bang right next to one another, but we are embarrassingly far behind, coming in here with... How many laps have we done? I would imagine a lap 3 out of 30, but the weather should improve drastically in our favour in just a couple of laps, so we might be able to salvage something out of this later on in this stint. We are just fuel extending, trying to conserve the tyres, as indeed it is drying out now. So we might want to move them over onto a more aggressive stance right out here. Antonov might be the sacrificial lamb here. He's on super softs, he's going to suffer. They will not last as long at all. But again, look at that, it's drying out now, it's coming to us. And I think we're going to start to see some green, well, yeah, green sector times here, indeed Vananen. We might even start to see purple sector times now. As conditions are favouring our car, she's going to start pushing on her soft tyres. Antonov is just going to have to try and hold on here. We'll see what he can do. Yeah, green sector time, 2 seconds faster, sector 2 alone. That's something nearly 3 seconds faster from Antonov right there. So they are now going to be lighting up the timing screen. And they're going to be cutting through. Yeah, others are pitting now. They're pitting now. We've jumped a couple of cars already in the pit cycle. We've jumped a couple of cars. Do we have got that overview down here from the start in here? Is that just later on? That might just be later on. But look at us, we're jumping everybody. Antonov's up. Antonov's into the lead. Vananen as well. So see, that's the gamble. The gamble has paid off. We're up into second place. First and second after 7 laps. And Vananen looks solid with her soft tyres on the car already. That is what we need to see. Antonov, mate, you need to get a wiggle on. We need to get you over onto those soft tyres later. Well, as soon as possible, really. We also need to mind the car's condition. That will deteriorate over time, and it will be problematic. Let's just bring you off the high engine maps, because that will really wear it out. But he's now, or Antonov is going to be thrashing the tyres very, very aggressively indeed. So as soon as he pits, it will be interesting to see. Really what I might have expected was more rain happening here after about 10 laps. That doesn't appear to be the situation. It's going to stay dry for now, so we're just managing the situation, having a look what is the pit stop time expected to be lost. Total estimated pit stop time, let's just have a look here. If we move him in now and we fill him up, that's going to be 12 seconds stop, and he's going to lose some seconds as well coming in and out. So that's going to see him down about here. So really frankly, we're going to be pretty solid here after this pit cycle. Wow, you need to come in very quickly indeed. We're going to move you over onto our soft tyres and just get you banged out here. That's looking good. So indeed, bang you in right here and see what you can do. You'll just stay out here for another lap. This is the benefit now for Vananen. We'll have another lap out here, maybe 2 on these tyres, where she'll get to push now. She's pushing, she's into the lead. Antonov has dropped way down, actually, way down. But we are now off cycle in terms of tyre use, so this should benefit us in the end. Really what we want to be doing now is just extending down here. Let's bring in Vananen as well, swap her over onto another set of soft tyres. We don't really need to fill her up, actually. We can just fill in 9 laps. I reckon that's about it in terms of fuel. We expected to come out in 16th, so it seems after the first pit cycle it might not have benefited us terribly what we did here, but it might work out towards the end of the race. In either case, it's worth taking a gamble occasionally and seeing where we come out. She's out in 18th, so initially right now it doesn't look like that gamble paid off, but we are now off cycle. We're pitting much later than them. You can look at the strategy in terms of their tyre use. They're about halfway through their super soft stint, where we're just starting out a soft stint. So we should have a fairly decent advantage on the guys around us, and we should be able to overtake them. Worn super soft versus new soft. That really is easy pickings. We're just going to shift off the aggressive tyre use right there because temperatures are rising down here. Fuel wise, yeah, we're looking fine. We're not going to use the aggressive engine modes until later on when we've improved reliability. And that was a pole sitter right there. William Evans has now dropped to 20th and last. With what we can do here now, other cars are pitting. So really, everything is up in the air right now because we're massively off cycle. So even though we pitted when we did, we don't know what that means for the end of the race. But we need to try and split this strategy up so it actually works out in our favour towards the end of the race. And I'm not sure how we're going to do that because we're only going to manage about 10 or so laps. We're going to make it to 20 laps, certainly on fuel, and that's good. Because if we can get to lap 19-20, we're going to be bang on target for getting to the end on a fuel load. It just remains to be seen if we can do it on a tyre. We're going to shift them over now, our two drivers, Antonov and Varnanen, to conserve tyres a bit here because we are rising through the pack. Oh, somebody's got problems. Evans has got a problem in the pit. He's retired, it looks like, with some sort of mechanical, as he's on a fresh tyre set right now. No, he's back out there. So, oh, we've got Marchetta pitting in with some mechanical damage as well. But it's not really a concern for us. We are minding our tyres right now. We need to try and extend and get these tyres to the end of our fuel stint. Seeing what we can do. Just extend, guys. Just need you guys to manage this. If we can do that, we know pretty much everyone else will have to pit again. So it's only a matter of if we can make it until then. That's what I'm seeing right here in terms of when they pit it. They can't make it to the end from where they stop. They will have to stop again. Beauchamp, Jonsdottir, El Sadat, they might be able to make it to the end on one more stop, which is also what we're going to do, because yeah, they're pitting in now. Beauchamp and Jonsdottir's pitting in now. That's right on the cusp. They could go in lean engine mode, conserve tyres and run it to the end, but we're certainly on target, it looks like, to do a good decent stint here, and then pitting in and putting on a decent set of tyres for a run to the end. Data centre, here we go. We can see here indeed, wasn't it Evans? No, Will Evans, he started. Where did he start? Didn't he start? Will Evans, where's he? Yeah, Will Evans, he started first, and he's had some sort of major dramas because he's way down now. And you can see where they pitted. This is like really well done, actually. Pit stop history, all of this, yeah, that's not. I mean, this is fairly good stuff if you were doing endurance racing. Anyway, we'll just continue in here. I was kind of hoping that I could see some sort of rulebook, because I'm not sure really if we need to put on a pair of super softs on Varnanen because she hasn't been on it, and none of our drivers has been on the wet tyre. It might be if we move over to wet tyres or intermediate tyres, we might be excluded from having to use two compounds. I'm not sure. Oh, rain is coming! Oh my goodness me, look at that! Rain is coming in. This is working out exactly as we need. Right here, we're going to move you over to a wet tyre, because it's going to be proper wet running out here 11 laps. And just check you out here. This is absolutely bang on what we need. Oh, this is a problem for her, actually, I think. We're going to have to pit in both at the same time. We're going to move her over to... I mean, we're going to be full wet Bang in a lot of fuel in here. I just want to have a bit of reserve. Jesus, she's going to be close. She might run out of fuel on the way in. In fact, she's definitely going to run out of fuel, but she should be able to bring it in on fumes. So we're going to lose some time for her. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, go through, go through, go through. This might actually save us on the pit stop. She's back in, she's in, so she made it in. We're moving on to wets right now, so this is going to be a massive race coming out of the pit. See, double stacking hurting massively for Varnanen, but that really was poor from me, to be fair. That was absolutely poor. She's hurting massively right there, but Antonov is out on wet tyres, and he's doing it at the right time. There's going to be a lot of cars that are caught out right here. We don't really need to conserve tyres now. We can go pretty aggressive on these tyres. We just need to push on. Why did you... No! Don't be overtaken! Push, push, push! Push, push, push! Oh, well, they were technically on intermediate tyres, so now everybody's going on to different strategies. Those that are going on to intermediates right now, they're going to be suffering as we get towards the end out here. It's the right tyre to be on at this very moment, but in just a couple of laps, when we get to a couple of laps later on, as the rain progresses on, it's just not going to be there. They're going to absolutely hurt from that. We've got a few cars up ahead who's on wet tyres, but those on intermediate, they're going to start fading very quickly in a couple of laps. Those staying out on soft, they are having one hell of a time. They're going to be skittering all over the place. She's dropping still, but now we're getting up to intermediate levels. In a moment, you're going to start seeing that. Once that moves up to about where my pointer is, which I'm hoping you can see, right up here, that's where the wet tyres are going to start to play in. And that's where we're going to start jumping as everybody's now moving over onto wet tyres. And it's going to be very wet right now. We are running for it. And we're just going to have to try and see what we can pull out of the bag right here. We're within our sponsor target. That's looking good. That is what we need to be concerned about. Varnanen, mate, you need to pick it up a bit out here. Get aggressive. Overtake. Come on, push, push, push. Push, push, push. I mean, we're on the same number of laps as Strafers just in front of her. Well, Antonov is perhaps not closing in. Yeah, look at that. There are people who've stopped 4 times down here too. Santarana and Rogers has pitted twice. And Bella is dropping now on intermediates. Mello's going to start dropping as well. Tang, they're going to start suffering as well. We're going to have to get a wiggle on right here. 6 laps to go. This is looking very, very good for a strong result out here. At least one more position. Admittedly, my tactic of starting the race on dry tyres didn't pan out. We should have started on intermediates and pitted, gone to soft, super softs, and then gone back over to wet tyres. But yeah, look at that. The weather's going to be absolutely apocalyptic here towards the end. I would imagine Mello and Delemble might have to pit again. Let's drop down and see Varnanen down here. Just going for an attack on Delemble, yeah, suffering massively. Massively suffering on those intermediates. Mello's into the pits. That's another position. P6 for Antonov. And Varnanen's might jump Mello as well. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Yeah, yep. We've done it. So that's 10th and 6th. And that gives us a fairly decent chunk of points coming out of this. So Arabiola's ran wide. He's running into second. Got Antonov. Well, we're not going to win. We know that much for sure. Bao Tang has retired. Oh dear. Was the Indian readout team with her guys? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Absolutely fine. But look at this weather. Absolutely diabolical. Lightning, thunder, lightning is all happening. We are thrashing the crap out of these wet tyres. They're going to have no temperature. They might actually start to struggle for grip as well. But yeah, we're dropping to the leaders. With 4 laps remaining, we're going to speed up the time and see what we can take from this. I'm not 100% sure we're going to be particularly pleased with the outcome. Well, we are. We're getting points. And we're within our sponsor objectives, so we're going to make a decent amount of money out of this. And with the weather, there might be somebody that throws it off and gives us a couple of positions towards the end, but Antonov has had a strong drive here towards the end of the race. Again, looking at this, we should have done a far better job because we've only stopped twice with everybody stopping 3 times around us. But that's just the price I had to pay for my decision to run wet. Should we pit to fix any of your parts? No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just bring you off the push mode. We've got a couple of parts. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. We've seen it. Keep going. We're monitoring the situation. Now Nick Show ran wide. I don't think you want to pit for fresh tyres. Well, shut up. You're not going to get them. We've got 2 laps remaining. Final lap now commencing. Out here, we're going to get 6th and 10th most likely. Varnanen, you can start pushing fairly aggressively and see, because 9th is A-Link. 9th is A-Link. Come on, get Dreyfus. Come on, Varnanen. What about you up here? Are you anywhere near anybody? No, 8 seconds. That's not going to happen, even if they have problems. But she might be able to get... Oh, that was 19th, not 9th that we're having trouble. But oh, we are right on 9th is having trouble as well, actually. So push, 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 Varnanen. Push, push, push into the final corner. Take it. Come on. Come on. No. Ah, I mean, that's a decent result. 6th and 10th. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Given the mistake of starting on dry tyres, that I will take. But a good run there for Sabadabadoo on the Firebird. Great name for a team, by the way. We got 6th, we got the money we wanted out of it, and we had a valuable lesson in not going for the wrong tyres on the startup. And yeah, we're just being checked over here if we violated any rules, which you can do with the parts you develop. You can get a bit risky with them, but we didn't. And we got some money out of this. We're sitting 5th, right where we want to be by the end of the season. And that was it. We'll come out here, we'll have a look at the reports coming in a moment. So pricing the long load times for a game that really isn't complicated at all. So yeah, expected result, which is what we got. So everybody is very happy. We're getting a load of money coming into the team. What we are going to do now is look into... Okay, we're saving. This is why we don't get ahead of ourselves. So that was the first race done. Next up is Munich. We need to have a quick look in here. Everything looking fine. Hard-fought win. Car condition. We're going to fix it in 41 hours. So they're going to go over the car, strip them down, check it all out. It's looking good for that part. We're going to go in here and design a new part. We are going to go for... I mean, our gearbox is great. Our suspension is great. So really, it's the engine we need to be working on. Actually, another set of brakes might do us good, but we're going to go for spending all of our prize money on a new engine, and there is a risk level +1 that can get you pinged in the technical controls after the race, and we don't really want to do that. We can instead improve fuel efficiency, which is quite frankly what we want. And indeed, improved fuel efficiency. We'll go ahead, start this off here, spend a lot of money fixing all of that stuff out, but they're working. They can't improve the parts that we started until they finished mending the car from that race. And an interview. Maya Vonnenin was fuming in a post-race interview after running out of fuel on the last lap and dropping position. Are you going to apologise to her? I do owe her an apology. That was my mistake. It was. I wasn't paying attention to that. So, oops. So that gives us some clout with her. Our chairman's not happy because I said I made a mistake, which we can't have, because why on God's earth would anybody ever admit they made a mistake? Scouting coming in here. Who's that? Is that Roberts? Not one of ours. Scouting reports would be one of the stronger drivers for Sarah Thomas. Sarah's fitness is a strength. Yeah, that's not really great. She's not fantastic then. Let's just try and go down here and see if there's anybody else. Again, they're too old. Why are they all so old? I mean, you are... See, 18, that's what we want, and they're driving in... Oh, but look at that, that's expensive. I mean, you're not young at all, that's just false advertising. Only out now, already in this series. I am not really pleased with what I'm seeing here in terms of the talent available to us. Let's try and run Surang. Here, let's get a scouting job in on her because she's been paid quite little. That might be beneficial to us, but we've got more sponsors coming in here for the final spot. Right. This is where I need to get my phone out and do calculations because that's a lot of numbers. And calculate it, so 450,000. No brain, this isn't what we do. We do 85 times 4 plus 450,000. That's 790,000. And then we've got 150,000 multiplied by 6. That's the wrong one. 150,000 multiplied by 6. And 900,000. And then we've got 500,000 multiplied by 8. That's 4 million! Yeah, I'm going to go with Rogers and Nails, actually. That seems like the best option. That seems like the much better option, really, for us. Wowzers. So thank you for that. We're now maxed out on our sponsorship, so it'll take a while before that becomes relevant. And we've now repaired the car, so the team goes back to improving the reliability on the parts that we currently have fitted out. You can stop improving the gearbox. That looks good. We can then start focusing on our suspension. And yeah, wow, those brakes are terrible, and the brakes that we developed are actually significantly worse than the ones we had here. We really need to improve our brakes. What do we change out here in terms of brakes? We need a level 2 factory. How expensive is that to upgrade? Oh, wow! Wow, 8 million. Okay, that's a little way off. So brakes are not going to be our strong point for a while. I'll gladly concede brakes. Not where we're going to be particularly good. Investment opportunity. My accountant tipped me off about some mind-blowing investment opportunities in the Caribbean. Apparently there's a whole raft of land in Trinidad and Tobago going dirt cheap. I mean, this sounds hella tax dodgy, doesn't it? Like, I mean, Trinidad and Tobago, that famous hotspot for financial investment. Yeah, let's take it. That's a bit of cash. We'll take it. Like, you don't see why we wouldn't. Money, right? We like money. Meanwhile, we're developing that. We're working on fixing up everything else, so that's good. Otherwise, we are... Come on. We should have a engine design being finished in a moment. Cracked in right here. Design a new part. We can do a new gearbox. That's going to put us way out of the window for the next race. So, maybe another set of brakes coming in here. Improving up here to you. And then... Yeah, that doesn't seem good at all, actually. None of those seem very good. So we won't go into any of that. We'll just have to stick it out here. We'll improve the parts that we have. That engine definitely needs to be improved, and it needs to improve significantly. Let's go ahead and move everybody over to working on improving reliability, certainly for that engine. Let's just focus on that. Right, now everything else looks fairly decent. We'll just bring up that engine a bit, and that should be good. Meanwhile, we have got nothing else really we need to do at the moment. we just need to get to the next race. We've got the World Motorsport Championship. Well, that's Formula 1, which was run by Zoe Sharp and Nina Holz, and Nilo Saninen came in third. So that's fairly decent for them. Good for them. I have no particular interest in that because we're not racing there. But in a few days we're going to have more scouting reports being finished. Pause. Pause, no. Read the email. You know how this works. Report an upcoming race. 29 lap race. Lap record is 125. There's likely to be some rain during the race, with Sunday showing a 40% chance of rain. Average corner speed. Tyre compounds are soft and mediums. So, yeah, that's looking good. Telemetry centre. Yeah, they'll just nag you every now and then for new sort of facilities. And Felipe Nunes would be a terrible, terrible driver, so we won't hire him. Who else could be interesting? You could be Hannah Trenoweth. I mean, you've got a name that's not particularly easy to pronounce, but we're going to get... Oh, she doesn't look particularly good, actually. What else can we go for? Just also in terms of money-wise, Brad Walker. Brad Walker might actually be fairly decent. What about Chen Kui? Not very consistent. Rick de Graaf, Pascal Becker. Already running, okay, already running up in the top championships. What about Ebony Tyler? She should be fairly decent, right? Yeah, but they're already racing in the level above us. What about Vanessa Silveira? Let's get GT Challenger Series. Let's get some scouting going on right here. Otherwise, nobody else has really shown up. Falco Engelhardt, too old, I'm afraid. Just too old for this championship. Oh, we just run through that. Paul, something came up. Pre-race interview, but it's just a bit of filler. Let's see with our parts. Engine's up to 65, so that should be fairly decent for the race. Let me check out the rules for the championship in which we are running in. That seems like a sensible thing to do. Can we find the rules anywhere, actually? Oh, is it up here? Is it? No. Yeah, whatever. Go away. Is there actually any way for me to read the championship rules now that we are actually, you know, within the season? I'm wondering. Current rules, there's the button we wanted. Short practice, lap, speed limit, semi-sequential, refueling and fixes, yeah. Standard merit payments, points for all drivers. Closer to the top you'd see Brutus tyres, tyre compounds, 2 dry, yes. 15 dry tyre choices, fuel safety car refueling, drive rate. I'm not seeing anything here in terms of having to actually reuse both tyre compounds. So as I understand these rules, there's no requirement here to use both compounds. So that's worth keeping in mind. We don't have to use both tyre compounds, but we're going to Munich in a track that definitely isn't the Nürburgring inspired. We're going to go again with 8th. That just seems like the best option. No, actually, let's try and push our luck here. Let's just be a bit cheeky and go for the big one. That will be beneficial to us at the very least as we go. You are unhappy. Let's see what we can do. Right here, right now. Engine-wise, that goes to... You can have the engine. You can have that engine. And, I mean, do you really want to have those brakes? I wonder, is that it in terms of parts? Yeah, that's it in terms of parts. So they're both content. They're not happy, but they're not angry either. So off we go to Munich. We're expecting rain in the race. That will affect our strategic decisions during practice. At this time, we're not going to be stupid about the tyre we start the race on, of course. Yeah. So, weather for this session. Can we see any weather for the actual race? Don't think we can, but we're going to send out both of our drivers. Yeah, and again, already we're now seeing this coming up here. Let's just quickly try and sort out oversteer and just put in a bit more wing just to get us right into that window right there. That looks about good. Get you out on the mediums. It's the same deal here really. Well, you'd actually need to go pretty aggressive here on that, so just bring you inside. That looks good. Send you guys out here. We'll take the practice session, always worth doing, getting a bit of data. Pause. Yeah, mate. Out you go. You go out as well, please. Thank you very much. And again, we'll do an installation lap. Bring you out and bring you in. Get a bit of data in, just in terms of base setup, and then develop on from here. And see where it is. Are we going to have any wet running? It doesn't appear so. So really we're going to have to try and stick it out here and see if we can get some decent info. It was only a 40% chance of rain in the race, so that's not really big of a deal. Okay, downfalls. Not great, as it turns out. Not great. Improvements can be made. So definitely maybe yank it up here a bit more. Let's just see here. Maybe make the suspension about here. Just decrease you. Boom, boom, boom. That looks good. Send you out onto those mediums. Yeah, you're complaining as well. Let's just, again, get a bit aggressive here with a... Oh boy. With the wings. Also gear ratios, we definitely want to have shorter gears, I reckon, for this circuit. Suspension might want to be about there. We're certainly going to give it a bash out onto the mediums, and we'll see where that yields us in terms of a result. Come on, out we go. We're going to get a feedback fairly quickly from these two drivers. Yeah, somebody goes fastest in sector 1. So, yeah, we can just view here, see what it is. We don't really need to be looking at the car, we just need to get the feedback. We need to see their times, if there are improvement happening around here. Weirdly, they're not putting in sector times on their outlap. That's usually a thing you get to see. But yeah, the aero feeling much better from Varnanen. Great work from her. What about you? Aero setup way better, nice one. Let's just check in with the weather here and see. Yeah, we've got rain coming in later on, so that could be interesting for this session. Otherwise, yeah, we're not seeing terribly much here. Let's just see here. The gear ratios are just right. Let's bring in both of you. Get you in, get you on some sort of wet tyre so we get a bit of data on those as well. But it's overall positive reports as of right now from our two drivers. As you see, downforce not looking good, looking better but not good. Did we perhaps go too much in the other direction? No, I think we actually need to go even harder here. Let's try and do that. We just need to shift the handling back here. Boom, there we go, that looks much better. So a 3-lap stint, actually let's try and go in with a 9-lap stint on wet tyres for you. We're happy with the middle one, which I just forgot what is. In 90% we perhaps need just a bit more downforce for you here. Handling is pretty decent, acceleration. Might we want to be doing this and see what we get. Another 9-lap stint for you. We're probably not going to get to that. Let's get you out on intermediates just so we get a bit of data on it. Or at least so we feel like we do. As the rain is indeed starting to come down. We will see what we can get out of this. I'm not sure what not. We just need to confirm that the changes we make to the setup has improved the car as it stands. We're not going to be running to the top of the timesheets given the wet situation. Who is that in front? That's Antronov. Can you just let her through? Wrong button. the aero's much better now. Thank you. Yeah, up we go on the inside with Varnanen. Well, that's looking good. He's obviously slow. He's on the wet tyres and we're not quite near where the wet running is going to be beneficial. So it's looking like we're getting some good data here. With 2 minutes to go, we're going to leave them out. To the end of the session, there's no real benefit for pitting now. We're not seeing any complaints coming in either. That's positive. And Antonov is definitely bringing in a lot of setup knowledge. He's experienced. He's an old fart, but he does know what he's talking about. And Varnanen isn't bad either. Aero reporting in as being peachy. Gear ratio is being reported in as being peachy, I think. Yeah, Antonov, we're now into wet tyre running situation. And across the line we go. And we can be fairly happy with that result, as I will be back in one quick second. And there we are indeed. 6th and 11th. We can be pleased with that. It's practice anyway, doesn't matter in the slightest. Ooh, and we got dribbles, drizzle, like rain from the get-go. Oh, that's really tricky. Yeah, we're going to start on soft tyres. We've got level 2 race trim, +5 performance, that's all we can go for Antonov. Then really we're going to have to go here because medium tyres, we're not going to get anywhere near that fuel consumption. So race trim level 2 and medium tyre for you. Let's have a look here and see. Yeah, we're looking pretty decent out here. So let's see, you were, wow, look at that, that's a very little, so we need to have just a bit more in terms of top speed. Shift you over here. Maybe just see. Yeah, I mean, we just need to have thrown all of the wing that we can, it seems. That's where we wanted it to be, isn't it? Yeah, just about there. That looks about right. Yeah, soft tyres definitely for this weather, because we might be pitting in fairly quickly. Wait, hang on, who's starting at the back? Let's quickly check it out here. That'll be this chap here. Oh, bugger my arse. I think it just removed the setup changes that we had. So we just move you over up a bit here. Let's just see. Great, yeah, we just need to. That will be about where we need to be, really. And then tyre choice, you are going to start on inters. It's a bold strategy again, but we're only going to do it with him. He's starting at the back after all. Let's just see here, any changes that we can make. No, we've definitely improved it. Might want to just quickly whack it up a bit. And then with you as well, just improve these two, because that just moves everything in the right direction. Yeah, on softs, what are you going to do? You're going to do 10 laps. So we'll just run a bit lower weight on the car. That should sort it all out. And we'll see where we can go with this. Yeah, yep, they're all starting where they are, certainly. Let's just see here, lights on, or lights are out. Away we are for the Munich European Racing Series. Tang is on into first place. Varnanen's dropping on the soft tyres, being taken by Dreyfus on mediums. But we are seeing a bit of spray. So you might actually want to get a bit of a wiggle on here. Keep pushing because you need to keep those tyres up in temperature. Meanwhile, you are going to be on a charge. Let's just quickly allow teammate through, because it looks like that might become very relevant. It appears that the intermediate tyres might have been the right tyre to be on from the start of the race. Oh, but Antonov's dropping a couple of positions now. So perhaps it isn't. And it is going to start drying out here, but then the rain is going to come back in. So we might have sacrificed Antonov here. We may very well have sacrificed Antonov with these tyres again. But Varnanen looking fairly decent on the mediums. Let's just see that hit yet. She's been told to let him through. She has. So we can go ahead now and just race here. You need to push to keep those soft tyres up into temperature. She's dropping positions through, I'm not sure why, but Antonov seems to also drop in positions here, so it's anybody's guess really what's happening. But she shouldn't be struggling as much as she is. The conditions aren't really pointing in that direction just yet. So we are definitely gravitating towards the back here, which is definitely not ideal for us. But in terms of the weather, it's going to come in a few laps. So around lap 10, that would be, well, we can't really show that, but that will be just after what we can see there. You need to get a bit more aggressive with these tyres. You need to keep them up into temperature because he's dropped back a fair old whack now. So let's try now and focus for Varnanen on the race, and we are running 29 laps. So ideally we need to be running around 10 laps for her in order to get a 2 stint in the race. Antonov, I'm not sure he's going to do that with the Inters that he started on. He should be overheating massively right now, because he's definitely not in any kind of territory where he needs to be. She needs to back off a bit here. Tyres are getting hot. Like, he should be way off the charts in terms of tyre temperature. It's far too wet for that. And yet looks like Varnanen might be coming in right around the time the rain picks up and we need to move over onto intermediates. So that's looking good. But we are definitely not great on this track. Rain picking up now. Coming in should start hitting us. We want to come in for Inters. Nope, you're going to have to stay out. You are going to have to stay out. You need to just back off here. Just back off. And just try and survive. Ideally, I'd like her to make it all the way until lap 10. That's 3 laps away, but it might get too wet for her. She's up into 15th, it appears. No. Yes, she is. Right behind 14th, which will be El Sadat. You're starting to struggle a bit with Tubber. I know, mate. You're just going to have to hold on here just a little bit longer. Just a bit longer. The only thing is we might be able to make the Inters last a bit longer now in the wet. But she is definitely starting to hurt. And we need to pit very soon indeed. Her tyre wears through the roof. Yeah, let's just push. He's looking okay in terms of tyres at the very least. So we're going to go ahead now, try and race here. See what we can do. Oh, right up the inside of El Sadat. Antonov goes. Just chucks it up the inside and jumps again. Antonov is on a tear. The Inters are definitely the right tyre to be on right here. So we're going to bring in Varnanen. Shift her onto a new set of Inters. Give her a big old load of fuel. And send her out on her way. And that's going to be very good indeed for us. This is the right moment to pit in, it seems. Antonov is taking off hard on those tyres that he is on. He needs to just aggressively take this next lap. We're going to split them out here, not double stack again. That was also a bit of a whoopsie, but I had no option really. In goes Varnanen, pitting, along with a few others. Antonov is pushing on. He's going now for 10th. Oh, he's being squeezed out by Girard. He's through. It's up behind Shu. Up into the Shu. He's done it. Good job. P9. You're going to come in this time, Antonov. You're going to come in for a new set of Inters and give you another load of delicious fuel. On you go. Okay, let's bring you off here. Medium, neutral for Varnanen. She should have pitted at the right time. She's third of those that have stopped, and that is going to be very interesting to see how that develops as the rest of the field begins to pit in. So we have a real strategic battle on our hands. That's real 3 wide, but we make it through. Look at those Inters, even though they are absolutely thrashed, he is making the most of it. Our good man Antonov. In he goes from 9th, having driven through half the field. New Inters on, filling up the tank. to the top. Down we go, away, go, go, go. I just move you off the aggressive strategy right here. We're just going to have to try and mind and now extend a bit. Not sure she's got enough fuel, certainly. Don't know about tyres. Yeah, Antonov, he's gained a bit on Varnanen and he's jumped, I think, a couple of positions as well. He is sitting 4th still amongst those that have stopped. No way, that was what Varnanen was beforehand. He's now taken over that, but other people are pitting as well. And they are running their tyres to the bitter end, but they're going to be suffering now. It doesn't look like we're going to move into full wet territory, so Inters will be the name of the game for the remainder of this race, at least for the foreseeable future. So we're just waiting now here to see how it all works out. Other people are bringing it in now. This could be quite significant out here. Oh, that's not another position taken, but he came out right in front of us. We will have temperatures in these tyres, so we will be looking quite a bit stronger. And as we get towards the end here, we can turn him up a bit with these engine maps. As he's being haunted down by Marchetta and Varnanen sitting in 14th, looking fairly decent as well. As other cars are pitting up ahead, we might be jumping even more cars right here. I'm not sure. Yes, we are. We're jumping up. We're now up into 8th. Oh, he's up into 5th. Get in. This is looking good now. It's looking very good indeed. You can go ahead and push a bit just to get that effectuated. So Antonov might have been on the right strategy anyway. Starting on the Inter certainly yielded a lot of strong results as soon as the rain started to come down. And our stint might actually be right around the time the weather might change again. At least for him, we're going to keep him on this strategy. Just try and extend it as long as possible. Get him in around... Yeah, he's going to be pitting in around in lap 21-22. That's good. Varnanen, meanwhile, might be pitting in a bit earlier. Let's just see here. Yeah, I mean, still on a fairly decent fuel pace in that respect. Let's just see here. Everything's looking fine with parts. Everything is fine with him on parts. So yeah, he's going to have to now. Antonov here is going to try and sort of stabilise 5th, as Varnanen might be trying to jump others in the pit cycle. Let's check in with the weather. Yeah, the weather might subside towards the end. It might stop raining, and that might be when these guys are pitting. So, oh, somebody's getting a black and white flag. Marchetta, what is getting that for? No idea, but he's also got the pawn stash, so it might be that. He's now pitting in, as the rain should be subsiding in a couple of laps' time indeed. So the run to the flag might be driving. You might be moving over onto softs or mediums towards the end. Time will indeed really tell here. What else are we looking at here? You've been stuck behind that damn octane for a while. I mean, you're up the inside now. Through you are, so stop moaning on the radio, Varnanen, and drive. Meanwhile, Antonov is where it's at. He's up into 5th. And he's going to be pitting in around lap 22. His tyre should be lasting until then, although temperature-wise he's starting to struggle. The issue is really going up to a higher mode. We'll just wear out the tyres a bit more. So I'm not really too keen on doing that. He's just about a second behind Rochester in 4th. So if we get a bit more aggressive with him, actually, that might actually be worth it. Just getting a bit more aggressive with the tyres here. Just bring her off, because they are now separated in pits, so we won't have a double stacking. I'm not even sure. Yeah, they're just a few seconds apart, so there would definitely be an issue if we were to not do that, as the rain is now starting to subside. So she might be brought in, Varnanen might be brought in and moved on to slicks just that bit earlier. It's a bit of a gamble, I have to admit, but it might be worth doing. She might jump a car or two. Given how tight these 4th pretty much down to here is, they're pretty much close together. As others are pitting now, Albiola is pitting in. So I need you now to just push, Varnanen. You're coming in. And we've got 11 laps remaining. Oh, Soft just about can't do it. And you've got a 5% performance increase. So indeed, Indeed it is. It's a pair of mediums. Fill it up here. We'll just quickly bang you in here. We might just run you a bit lean. That should make that work out nicely. Antonov also will be now on to the attack out here. Actually, no you won't. No you won't. Please back that off. If we can get it a couple of laps more, he can make it to the end on a set of softs, and that's really good if he can do that. So Varnonen's into the lane now. She was very low in fuel, her tyres were worn out. But Antonov, he's staying out here. We're going to see if we can't jump them in the cycle. He's up into 3rd place. So those are pitting in for mediums. They're too far out. I think we might be able to extend him onto... Yeah, we still have a bit of excess fuel. We can push just a bit now because the wet weather will help cool those tyres down. Our 2nd place is pitting in here. This is really good. This is really good. We just need another couple of laps out here. You couple solid laps from you, mate. Then we're going to bring you in. Slap on. Just get you in here now. Full aggress attack now. That's what you need to be doing. Then you need to come in. Look at that. That's bang on target. That's what we want. We might just have something here for the end. We might just have something here for the end of this one. Bring him in. He's pitting from 1st. He's going to come out a bit down. As others are pitting down here. Yeah, we've got Sabado going on to softs as well. Varnonen is down in 19th. But again, the pit cycle is yet to cleanse entirely. Again, we're jumping positions right here. Coming in behind Rogers, who just pitted. Feels like overtaking might be hurting the engine. Yeah, I mean, you are right. Let's just bring you down onto medium. Let's see where you're going to come out. 21 seconds, we're probably not going to do that, but we might be within a fighting chance. And certainly around Arbiola, I would expect to be. And if he's on mediums, we should have him towards the end. So in here we go with Antonov is in. They're staying out on those tyres, and it looks to be dry until the end, so this is good. This is very good. Onto soft tyres. Go, 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 go. Brilliant work there. Bring you on attack. Bring you back off that, actually. Over here with you. You just need to back off a bit. That's not looking good. You can be a bit harder on your engine. You likewise, you can just stay here. You add into 9th. He's... Oh, no, he's not. We're about 10 seconds away from the top of those that have... That's annoying. That's really annoying. I don't think we're going to get within our sponsorship request, but that was a bit of a gamble anyway. But we're certainly going to get a... We're up into 4th. And he's on mediums in front of us. So if you can just push on here, you might be able to get something decent out of it. Varnonen seems to just not have it, really, to be fair. She just doesn't seem to have the pace to deliver and back up Antonov. But Antonov, he might be able to go here. 6 laps remaining. But I really want to be careful about not overrunning these tyres early on. You can't get past... Well, you're going to have to, mate. Push hard. Go for it, mate. Come on. Get Tang. You're going to have to just make a later charge here. He's on mediums. Oh, we've got a lot of cars being flagged up now with a bad sportsmanship flag. He's in 5th. Oh, we've dropped the position to Bouchard. I need you to push now. I need you to push. 5 laps to go. 5 to go. You need to just come off these, otherwise you're going to overheat your tyres. But you are pretty much just in no man's land. Yeah, there's a ding-dong battle down here. We are down into 6th now. That's no good. That's no good. Can we please try and attack a bit here? But we do need to mind that engine. Let's just not be on attack mode. We're just going to have to hope that the tyres gives us something here towards the end. But anyway, we can be fairly pleased with this result. Sitting in 6th. With 5th right in front here. We will be able to get Tang in a moment. I reckon the other cars here, they are simply just stronger than we are. Just stronger than we are right now. So we're just going to have to try and mind the engines and all of that as well. Let's try and push now. We're going to have to try and be a bit more aggressive here, try and see if we can't get something out of this. What about 8th? Yeah, let's push now. I think the car in front in 7th is having some sort of engine drama. Yeah, 7th is suffering some sort of drama. That's good. Yeah, Nas is 5th, so we might get that. Mechanical issue for Evans. He's retired. With 2 laps to go, so Antonov really needs to start pushing on here. He can get past engine problems, mate. He's got a problem. He's nursing the car, mate. You just need to push on. Let's see if that will get him through. Come on, Antonov. Come on, you're looking. He's all over the back end of that car, all over the gearbox. Looking left, looking right. Is he going to send it? Not now. Final lap, last lap has just been commenced. So it's now or never. Do or die. Do or die. What about you? You are right up behind as well. So, can you please attack, 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 attack? We just need to get this done. Come on. Both of you guys, they're both nursing problems. We just need to do it. One last Hail Mary of a move. Come on. He's on worn-out mediums. You're on worn-out softs. It's all equaling out. Come on. Yeah, out the outside. Oh, he's been squeezed off. But he's tucked in behind. Vonnonen's through. Vonnonen's through. Now we just need... Rogers is back in front there. But we just need Antonov. Come on, make a move. Come on, send it down the inside down here. You got it, mate. Come on. Send it. That's a shame. At least Vonnonen seems to have actually got it done for good here. Yeah, absolutely done for good. So that's good. Good job there by both drivers, bringing it home. We can be pleased with that. We didn't really have a strategic blunder as in the first race, so we'll take that one. Thank you very much. 5th and 6th, that leaves us where in the... Oh, moves us up into 4th in the team's championship. So that's really good. Everything's looking very good now. As I'm going to pour myself a bit of water. Yes, indeed, Sabadell wins again. Or was it Arbiola that won the first one? I'm not sure. We'll find out here in a moment. Once we saved, of course. And thank you. There you are. Yeah, indeed, 6 for us. We can be happy with that. That looks very good, I should suggest. No risk of a rule break for us, because we are good people. And we don't cheat. Let's just see. Yes, indeed. Drive-through penalty. That's the wrong flag. Game. That's a warning flag. That's not a penalty has been given. That is entirely wrong. Yeah. So that's looking good. Let's just see here. So both drivers move up in the Drivers' Championship. Sergei Antonov up into 5th. Mirja Vonnonen up into 7th after that performance. We are sitting 4th in the Constructors' Championship, which is within our target of being 5th. And another person down here with great taste in hair. Let's just see. Yeah, all of that's really kind of pointless. I am very sorry you had to hear that, but you just sometimes have to let it all out. We'll just wait here for a moment. So, the Nürburgring series was cancelled today because of snow. Who would have thought? It's almost like 2020 isn't over yet. Very disappointing we didn't get that race. I was rather looking forward to it, but we'll just have to wait a couple of weeks. Anyway, we are through here. Everyone is looking fine and happy. I like that our reserve driver is improving. Oh dear. Even though they haven't been in the car. But yeah, our drivers are definitely way old for this. Very little income there. We kind of gambled on getting a top 2, which probably was a mistake. But sometimes that is how it goes. Oh, and we have to save again. We just saved, guys. You just showed me some menus. Let's see, down here we've got some scouting reports coming in, do we? Is that showing up in here? Car condition, 32 hours to be fixed. An interview with Gazzetta del Motore. You used team orders in the race, which is something that fans are not particularly keen on. What do you have to say to them? This is where the game kind of begins falling apart, because we did that because they were in 2 completely different strategies. And as such, every team in the world would be like, yeah, he's on a different strategy than you, just let him through. But yeah, we just say in this case I felt it was justified. There's nothing really to say there, because it was. He was on a different tyre. The tyre was better for those conditions. Also, spelling mistake, slower than our season record. But Sabato wins. Scouting report would not be one of the best drivers. He doesn't have a huge amount of potential, so he's basically pretty shit. Thank you. Anybody else that we can scout out here? Let's just see. Falco's too old. Then you've got Oliver Miller, Linda Lawrence. Might actually be quite decent. What about that? Yeah, let's get some scouting done with her. Although she's already signed with another team. Let's see out here anything else that might prove of interest. Age-wise, oh, wrong way. We definitely need the younger. So we've got Hong Liao, who's racing in this series. We've got Elsa Carr racing in another series, but she should be fairly expensive, and her contract runs until the end of the year. Then we've got Ebony Tyler. We already set that up. Okay, never mind. Just ignore me. You finished repairing the car. Thank you. We need to do a new part for the next race, which is Monza. What do we want to do? We don't really want to blow 1.5 mil on a new engine, and the brakes that we make, quite frankly, aren't very good. We could do a gearbox. I mean, brakes really are where we suffer a fair amount. Because here we can go in with deceleration plus 10 and reliability plus 10. We can do deceleration plus 20. And then you can do that, which isn't very good. That's absolutely terrible. Then we can do that right here, but that's a risk level. And that's the annoying thing here, really, is there's no way really around the fact that I don't want to take a risk. And the others are kind of crap. So, yeah. I mean, these brakes again are just average because reliability, but they're just crap, so there's no point really in upgrading into them. So, there's no point really going with brakes because we can't make them very good. Engine-wise, yeah, we can probably do a better engine. But I feel like, I mean, the brakes are definitely where we need to improve, but I don't see that happening. So anyway, let's go over here and see what can we do with the parts that we have. We can performance boost these two as we improve that. Let's just split them even 1 hour before the race. Yeah, that's pretty much what we need to do now. Just improve the parts that we have. Pit crew wise, we can probably swap some people around. You work very well on the front, Jack. Do we have some... Oh wow, our reserve guys are rubbish on tyres. Like, absolutely. What's the difference between working a front and a rear, Jack? It just seems to me to be too sort of complicated, really, in this respect. But we'll go ahead here and swapping you and you are looking good. And then we can bring in some new people, right? We need some tyre changes that are decent. That'll be you. Welcome aboard to the Finnish team. You can take the place of this bloke. We can hire on you, right? Yeah, you're definitely the best one by far. It's not really worth signing on any of the other guys because they're rubbish at everything, really. So you can go to you. Oh, see, those two do the refueling. That's quite interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's looking good. Sponsors, yeah, it'll be a while really before we need to look into that. So now we're just kind of passing time, getting through the next couple of events. Oh, scouting reports. Let's read here. Hi, Hunky. I'm done with my scouting mission. Hannah Trenoveth would be one of the very best drivers in the European Racing Series. It's probably not worth staking a huge amount on her potential for improvement, as she's operating near to the limits of her driving ability. Hannah's greatest strength is her smoothness, and her weakness is her overtaking. Anyway, if you want to scout other drivers, You know where to find me. Yes, I do. And who do we want to scout? We've got 2 open slots. She's racing above. I mean, who is available, really? I mean, that bloke is rubbish. He's old as balls and he's terrible. What about Falco? I mean, Falco would probably be decent, but he's too old. He's simply too old, and then you are already running up in the very, very highest level. GT Challenger Series, again, old. We've already scouted out Vanessa. Her contract expires by the end of the year. That's worth noting down, but what about anybody else down here? Barnaby White. That sounds very much like Brendan Hartley for some reason, but I don't think it is. You're being scouted out. Then you're also old. Sawyer Udis is in the international. Oh, very expensive. What else do we have? Oh, we've got a couple of people in 37. Definitely not signing on Dylan Blair. We need young people, Christ alive, and they're just not here. That seems to be somewhat randomly generated, and they're quite frankly rubbish. The ones we're having right here. HQ needs to be upgraded as well. We could ask money for that. How much money would we get if we ask for that? Because we can go in here. So we get a lot of money, but we reset Chairman Happiness. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Suck it. And now we can... HQ, can we... Ooh, we're very close. We're just 1 and a bit million away from improving that. That's quite annoying. So we need... Guys, you're going to drop out fairly soon. So that'll be good. If we can get one that has a decent one-time payout, that'll be great. Uh-oh, now we've got some sort of meeting thing coming in here. Yeah, the FIA or the GMA is coming in. Apparently we can have energy recovery systems, right? It's that time again. Huge impact on the way it is. Will ERS? No, we are ERS. So yeah, European Racing Series. Probably won't be going to Dubai on account that we are the European Racing Series. Pretty sure we're not going to go to the United Arab Emirates. That seems like his Bag's gonna retire. Bags. He's got the name of testicles. And here comes a vote on the new event. Scouting report finished will be one. Linda Laurent will be one of the European Racing Series top drivers. She still has some potential to become even better. Linda's greatest strength is her braking, but she has a hard time with her cornering. Wow, you're great at stopping the car, but after that, oh boy, you don't want to go anywhere near her. A new vote we can add in Dubai Track DGP. I mean, I don't care about that. And also they've gone with the Ernie Henkelrock. Definitely not in any way inspired by Bernie Ecclestone. Although they should definitely, in my opinion, have gone with Max Mosley, because he would be far better for that. Now, there's a character you really want to have in a video game, although there are no Nazi prostitutes in this game, so he wouldn't feel quite at home. We'll just abstain because we get a vote next time, because quite frankly I don't care. Indeed, the European Racing Series isn't going to the United Arab Emirates. Sensible. Very sensible. Thank you, Ernie. I don't think he knows. Oh, pause. We got a scouting report. Oh, we've got open scouting slots. Does it sometimes throw in like new drivers? I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, she really is good, but she's already running quite high up, and I'm not sure she's going to be willing to change into us. But we probably want to get found our championship European Racing Series. See if we can't find a young'un here, Shen Kui. Let's get some scouting done on her. We're going to try and... Oh, wow. Already been paid quite a lot. So, you... Yeah, and, I mean, you're already expiring by the end of the year. So, if we are going to be running... Oh, Claudia Dreyfus. Ah, but already again, then we've got... Just... Oh, she's under contract. Katie Linibris. Her contract's expiring by the end. Let's get some scouting done on her. That looks pretty decent. Because they're all quite young, so they might be able to help build the team next year. Somebody now wants to have a test track. Yes, mate, I'd love to have a test track. I just can't afford it. Can we do anything here with the HD Design Centre? I think they all cost 8,000. What about a new building? We can put in a forecasting centre. We can put in a scouting facility. One looks more unscouted driver. So that one we could build. That would be beneficial, and a staff centre. But yeah, not really. I think this year is really more about taking stock of where we are at and then growing our facility, our main factory, so we can start developing that later on. But we've got Nikolai Surikov, who won for Panther Racing Team, in front of Dieter Rexler, and Nina Holtz. Nina Holtz was also pretty strong, I think, in terms of, yeah, she's sitting third in the championship, so yeah, she would have been fairly decent. And the Asia Pacific Championship as well. Oh dear. Let's just go ahead and pause and see what we just had in terms of emails. Milan preview roundup. Yeah, it's looking good. Performance work complete. So you're now going to improve that. That's looking good. You can go ahead now. What can we do in terms of performance improving? Where can we get the most? We can get the most out of working on our gearbox, I would imagine, or suspension. Yeah, let's work on that right there. That looks good for me. That looks good for me. So we're now off to Milan for the Monza. We're going to go with a 500,000, finishing 8th or above. That seems entirely doable. So let's see here. Yep, you're looking good. Let's just check you've got all the right parts on in terms of reliability. Yep, you're looking fairly decent out here. You've got the better brakes, even though you got the newer part. And yeah, that's 50-50. Yeah, it all checks out just about fine. So off we go to Monza. Round 3 of 10 in this championship. Obviously that would have been far smoother if I dragged it out a bit more so the loading screen would have finished, but we can't really do that. Welcome to Milan, very much like Monza, just a bit run in reverse and with a few different points on it. Let's go ahead here and let's get Simone out on track actually, just for a bit of spicing it up here. It looks to be dry car setup. This is a low downforce, high speed section, so we're going to increase our gearing, and we're already going to start by lowering it, and I would imagine it's going to be right on the low end. We'll go out on your mediums. You likewise will be setting it up here for a bit of that, a bit of longer gearing, and on softs, and we'll take the practice session out here, get some data on board. Send out Antonov first of all. Boom, boom, boom. Send her out here. Boom, boom, boom. It will put our other driver a bit on the back end, but that's just how it is. Our reserve driver needs to get some time in. We'll also get a decent measuring of her, how good Santor is. And we'll just have to see here when we get through. They're on their outlap. Let's bring him in now. As we go through here and see. I mean, this is literally just a bit of a freedom done up to do Monza in reverse, really. So bring him in here. Handling is excellent. Speed balance isn't. So are we already? Perhaps we need to run a bit more downforce on the car. Let's try and run it up here. So we definitely know we need to be sitting. Let's actually try and run it a bit more like that. That might work out better for him. Get him out onto the medium tyre once more, just so we can see what that performs like. She's happy with the performance really, as it seems. So that's good, looking good for her. I'm not sure if Antonov is going to feel the same way once he comes out. She's certainly setting the fastest sector time, but I would imagine she's the first one actually setting a time, so I'm not quite surprised to hear that. She set a time of 1:14, yeah, and she's already tumbling down, but we'll bring her in. They need more downforce, which is weird because Monza in the real world certainly is very much a low downforce circuit. It is the kind of circuit where the Le Mans teams go to test out, much like Spa. Of course, with Monza they don't have to run the first chicane, and that is a great benefit really if you're trying to replicate the Mulsanne. Meanwhile, that's looking good. This might actually be a fairly decent setup for her. So let's get her turning more laps on that soft tyre now. See, he's feeling quite chuffed about his setup. We'll see about some tool later on. We'll just run through the setup here. He should be bringing the car in a moment. It might be next lap he's bringing it in. Yep, there we go. So he's going to run through. It'll be interesting to see if her data is transferred. Wow, he is very happy. Look at that. Superbly happy on the medium tyre. 98%. Yeah, we're not touching that setup one bit. That is as good as it gets. Downforce perhaps. I mean, it might just be 1 degree that's tweaked right there. You need to run out on a high fuel load. Get you out onto a pair of softs to give us a bit of data as well. That would be useful. Meanwhile, Santor is going to be bringing in the car. Let's just see here. Yeah, indeed, no rain coming in. Let's get her in now. See where she's at in terms of performance. We might just have found the sweet spot already. Oh, yeah, this is looking pretty decent as well. It could just be... Oh, yeah, it's just a tiny bit here. That's going to pitch that over. And I don't really think it's worth going for a couple of %. So we'll get her out here running, again, a high fuel load. That's probably fine on that set of tyres. Actually, let's get her out on a set of fresh softs just to see where she's going to be at. If she's given the chance to perform. Move her up a bit. Even though there's no qualifying in this championship, we're going to give it a bash and see what both of our drivers can do if we give them a qualifying run. Just because I want to see what they can do. They should both be quite happy about everything. So coming around here, we pretty much got this setup nailed now. We're just running now, gaining knowledge about the setup and tyres. That's all we really need. Yeah, now Antonov is up into first by a significant margin. With Santor putting in a purple sector, sector 2. So she might actually take that off of him, but he's going purple as well, sectors 1 and 2. So it's now our drivers lying first and second. That is absolutely top class work right here, so we should be in for a good result. And now I'm annoyed we didn't go for the good setup in terms of sponsor payout, but you know, we made a decision, we're going to have to live by that. Indeed, we are dominating, with Antonov being significantly ahead of Santor. Oh, that's not what we want to do, we just want to just marvel at that. Quality work and practice, we just have to convert that into a strong result here in the race. Milan, it is looking dry. Doesn't look like it's going to rain. What you are going to do is be race trim, 15 performance. Go on to soft tyres, I reckon that's where it's going to be. You, meanwhile, yeah, race trim and soft tyres, that seems to be the sweet spot. Look at that, 98%. Absolutely peachy. On a fresh set of soft tyres and 9 laps, so yeah, mediums are definitely not really worth dabbling into. What? Yep, you and tyre choice on a fresh set of softs. We should be good here. We should be very good. I feel confident we're going to achieve our sponsor target. I'm not sure we're going to get... I'd like to get into top 5 at the very least. But here we are, 5 lights, and they're out. Away we are, we're shooting up the inside. Vonen is up into 15th, dropping back into 16th, up into 15th again. Antonov's looking strong right up on the back side of Jar. Vononen now dropping in behind Jonstad here. But yeah, everybody's now running nose to tail as they go up through the chicane bit that totally is now running up towards the Lesmos. I mean, you can't make it any more monstery if you tried. Oh dear, but Antonov, he's had a terrible start. He's dropped way back. Guys, I need you guys to try and conserve fuel a bit here early doors. That's really what we need. We're not seeing any rain. Because if we can, I mean, really, perhaps you want to just be a bit more aggressive. So we'll have him be aggressive out here. So you just get her onto that strategy. We might want to, yeah, might want to just move them over. There we go. There's no point really when he's pushing hard. He's going to be pushing hard now. Just to see where he can go. He'll be our hare, she'll be our tortoise. And see what we can get out of that. He's going to just run as hard as he can. And that'll be it really. We're now starting to gain positions here for both of them. Santorana, who started the race on pole, I believe, or up on the front row, is gone now, all the way back down to the end. I think that both the front row, are they the same team? Yes, they are, so that will probably explain it. Antonov up into 14, so we're definitely coming to it, but he is pushing hard here. He's pushing very hard. He's now looking up into 13th, around Dembele. Now coming up to El Sadat. We've got Vananen stabilising down into 17. As they're going to try to take a couple more cars. That's looking good. So we're trying to see, can we get to lap 10? That would be very good for her if we could get her to lap 10. Just try now and conserve a bit of fuel. That's really what we want to be doing. No sign of any weather. Mate, I just need you to be soldiering on as hard as you can. Because he is just a few seconds up the road. It's very tight in this race. But Antonov's now into 8th. That's looking very good. He's leading a pack out here. We've got a Trulli train developing. He's pushing very hard indeed. And Vananen might be able to do a one-stopper, although her tyres are looking fairly warm. But I think she can make it through just about. He can start pushing the tyres as well as others are starting to pit now. Oh, Antonov's crashed. He's out. Crash, crash, crash. Oh, crap. Oh, fucking hell. So we're down to a single horse now. Drama. Drama as Sergei Antonov crashes out at Milan. And yeah, you're going to have to now be our one-trick pony up here. Just push, push, push. Push this one lap. Then we're going to bring you in. We are going to put you, fuel options, bang on to 9 laps. There'll be 13 laps remaining. So yeah, another set of softs for you. So our full focus now behind Vananen. Full focus on Vananen. She's not having a great race. We've got this form counter out of 10, as it says, and she's done at 2.8. So she's now pushing as hard as can be to get this car in, as she's very low on fuel and tyres. But in she comes. We're kind of just going to have to go hell for leather now. How far down is she going to drop? Pretty far, would expect. Down into 11th. Let's just get her to back off a bit here. So we know we can do about 9 laps. So that can kind of free us up in terms of when we do our pit stop actually. We want to be fairly aggressive now, given the situation we are in. But we don't really need to conserve fuel, because our final stop will happen within 9 laps to go. So the critical lap we are on in a moment. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to have to just push hard now and see what we can get. Not overcook the task like it's appearing we might be doing. Condition in terms of the car's looking okay. Those bloody brakes are rubbish, however. But we're going to have to push on now. Vananen is our only chance, and she's unfortunately our weakest driver. But she might be able to make something happen here. We'll just have to wait and see these laps. We can go up even further. She's looking up for 10s now. Up looking on Dreyfus. You've got it there. Up into 9th. Now back into 10th. Yeah, into 10th. Then this old saddle rat coming up in a moment. As we are well within our fuel window for the final stop. Tyres are running a bit hot, but is that just... That might just be because it's the first time we were above 20 degrees ambient. No rain expected at all, so the first dry race that we're having. Her form is improving in the race, so clearly she's enjoying this aggressive run on the soft tyres. As cars are now pitting further up here, up into 8th. We can now turn up the engine mode and get it to push a bit harder. As we have got 6 laps remaining in the race, of course. We are also cutting down on the amount of fuel we need, which means that our stop is going to be slow. Well, it's going to be quicker. It's the opposite of slower. It's going to be quicker once we bring her in here. We're going to bring her in this time by. We're going to slap on another pair of soft tyres. And then we're going to fill up. We have 5 laps remaining, so boom, there we go. This is going to be a quick stop. And there's going to be a lot of pit cycling that will still have to work out. Yeah, your tyre deck is through the roof. It doesn't matter, mate. You're coming in this time by. We just need to be on the attack. We need to get that 8th place out of this. I'm confident that Antonov could have done it. I'm not sure Varnanen can. But we're just going to have to wait and see here. As she comes into the lane. Brings it in. Let's see here. Good work by the guys in the pit lane. Filling up into 6 laps. Down we go. As we're now up into... Oh, into 8th. So already now with other cars ahead. No, down into 9th. Out we go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Where's my mouth? There's my mouth. I need to just get her off to pushing quite so hard. She's now in 9th, but with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars still to pit. That should give us a top 5, just outside the top 5 perhaps, depending on what we can get. Because we've got Mello on new mediums in front of us. Within reach, a couple of seconds off the road, and he's being held up by Shu, who's on very old mediums. No, he's through now. Oops, why are we jumping up here? Don't need to be doing that. I clicked the wrong thing, I would imagine. But Varnanen, here we go. Top 10. Let's see here as we go through. Up into 8th, so sponsor objective achieved. That's good, and we are pushing on. Strain noises from the engine. Can I check it out? Yeah, it's fine. Keep going. We're monitoring the situation. And here we are now up into 8th situation. We've got Cavalcanti dropping down. A couple of seconds, just a second in front of us now. So we're gaining on them as we're approaching here with 3 laps to go. Slightly newer tyres for Cavalcanti, but again our form is improving. So Varnanen might be doing a very good job here. Mello's jumping up here. But yeah, we're closing the gap up to the 2 cars in front as the pit cycle has gone through. So Varnanen has performed very strongly when the pressure is on. All of the focus from the team is on her to deliver a strong performance, and she is delivering that. We'll just have to wait and see if she can actually pull it through here, close up here. As the medium car should definitely be holding off in Mello, should definitely be holding up Cavalcanti. But I'm not sure we have enough time to do that. We're going to go onto overtake mode as we're just going to get her to back off in terms of... Nah, push, push, push. There's 2 laps remaining. 2 laps remaining, and the engine should last out here. I'm into... Yeah, come on, come on. Yes! 6th place. Good work. You're getting warning. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're monitoring the situation. Keep pushing. Push, push. Just be cool and calm on the radio. Good work right there. Yeah, we might actually want to get her to just back off just a bit now. The Inner Santana has retired with a mechanical issue. We're driving through these tyres. There you are. But we are with 2 laps to go. We're not going to catch Sabado in 5th. So really what we are relying on in order to jump ahead now is some sort of issue for the cars in front. And frankly, I'm not... Oh, 5th place does have dramas. 5th place does have dramas coming out here on the last lap. Let's try and monitor the gap here to the next car in front. That is... Oh, we can see that just down here. 6.1 seconds. 6.4. but we've definitely thrashed the ever-loving crap out of these tyres. So I don't think we're going to get him, even though he has a mechanical. So yeah, I reckon we're going to be quite chuffed here to get 6th place for her, which is going to yield us a good boost for her in the championship. Yep. Good work. I think that would be her strongest finish as well. So that's very good. P6A, that's okay. That's very good. Strong performance, mate. Top work there. As I minimise the game by mistake, as you sometimes do when you're an idiot like me. And now my OBS has disappeared. Now my OBS is back, and now we're back into the game. So Gerard won. Good work, but Varnanen delivered when everything was required of her. Good work right there. Of course, unfortunate for Man Antonov, that glorious Russian cargo plane, just simply not doing great there and crashing out. And now we're coming to crunch time. Have they sustained an injury? But yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Still in 4th in constructors. So that's great. Now we just have to wait and see here in terms of the driver if Antonov is injured. The last time I played, somebody broke their neck or had a neck injury after a crash and put them out, which, rather unfortunate for them, meant that my, oh yeah, I reckon injury, right? Whiplash, yeah, so 8 weeks. So Simone Santori will be getting a couple of races under her belt, so we will get to see how she measures up against Antonov and Varnanen. But we got a lot of money coming in as well. We're just $500,000 away from being able to upgrade our factory. Job security uneasy as we took the money from the team. Hi, I hate to say this, but I can't stand it anymore. I hate driving for this team, boss. I'm going to seriously think about them. Well, isn't it fortunate for us then that we're going to have a chance to check out our little spare driver, so we can throw him under the bus here. You have some time to get used to your team now with an interview. What are your main worries at the moment? Our driver lineup is weak, so I think we have to make some changes. Oh, I mean, that just hurt her. That wasn't the one I wanted to hurt. He was the one I wanted to go for. Oops. Well, what else? Dramatic end. Dramatic race. Indeed it is. Car condition. Can we please have an update here? Car condition update. 42 hours. Yeah, because these cars absolutely absolutely clobbered it there, didn't it? Who else can we put in now? Can we... Whoopsie. Can we bring in anybody else? Yes, we can. Probably go for this guy because of what he's asking us for and what we need. We need a tyre changer. So he is also quite good with refueling, so he can actually jump in right here and give us a big boost. I like big boosts. Car-wise, yeah, we'll just try and work on that. And then we will see here, car repair complete. So yeah, now we need to start being quite serious about driver scouting and seeing what we can do in that respect. Because, I mean, you're not really worth going for, are you? I mean, you are younger, but not by much. Let's get some scouting done here and see if there's anybody that we can grab. What are you driving in right now? Oh, yeah, but see, you are... Yeah, you are actually, 19 months. That's the issue here, isn't it? We need to look into... What are you in? You are expiring here towards the end of the year. Oh, but she's also injured. Dodgy neck, so she's also had a bit of a whoopsie. Otherwise, yeah, it is the factory that we need to improve upon. We could get the scouting office down, which would benefit us right now. The bigger picture, we'll just get a wide-angle lens. We ready speak one-to-one. Oh, it's from Ernie Hinkelrock. We ready speak one-to-one. But from what little time we've spent together, I can already tell that you're a decent, well-intentioned manager. The press are spreading some vicious, nonsensical rumours that the GIA are running something called an offshore slush fund. Obviously, it's pure nonsense. but I would greatly appreciate some public support against these claims. Having me as a friend in the boardroom could do wonders for your career. So it doesn't sound of bloody course, bloody gutter press, so we get a voting power. But I'm not really too concerned about having more voting power in the FIA World Motorsport Council. But team marketability goes down. It doesn't sound too preposterous. So we can make the chairman happy. Yeah, let's make the chairman happy. We need to keep him on side, because that really is what it's all about. Also, the marketability will hurt us long term as we are unable to secure sponsorship funding. Speaking of Wonderluck, we have one race left with them, so that will open up a chance here. Otherwise here you are, unfortunately we are logged in with these for a while. I mean, we can sack him. Fucking hell, he's so easily to sack. So that is Elite Designer. Ooh, yeah, Designer. Anybody here that looks interesting? Let's see. That aren't working with anybody. I mean, anybody really is an improvement. Let's go with Theo Frace. I mean, you two can both improve massively, but in terms of improvement, Scarlet Moore might be the better one to go for. Let's approach here, because that's going to be better. So she's interested, so we can definitely splurge a bit. Wow, okay, you don't want a lot of money at all then. And then contract length, I mean, we can definitely go for that. And then signing on fee would be about that, and then a race bonus. Bonus signs, let's get, if we get into a podium, we give you that. Let's see what she says to that. That could also help us make a difference on the team. Meanwhile, we'll just pause here, we'll just go into scouting. We are scouting quite well here, so that's looking good. Meanwhile, we need to also pay attention to everything else. What about the car? We're improving on parts. We can indeed. We can actually start now changing out with the parts that we are improving for reliability. Move over to a different set of brakes, for example, for our second car. And reliability wise, we would probably also want to improve which part? Suspension. Definitely want to improve that. And you are improving the gearboxes that we have in respective gearboxes. So let's see here with Scarlett. That would be our engineer, wouldn't it? She's interested in that one. So, yeah, we're going to sign that right now. So, it's not going to be a significant change really for us, is it? She's going to be far better. So, yeah, you'll go, mate. Nico Newland will have to go. So, yeah, we have to obviously break talks with him. He's not going to be pleased about that, but at least now we have a good lead designer going on here. So that should be a good change for the team. Look at the staff. It's now jumped dramatically. And, yeah, she's looking good. Everything's looking fine. And these are actually fairly decent race mechanics that we've got going on. So we're not really going to look into upsetting that just yet. Meanwhile, we can look into the car. Is that going to change? Nothing's going to change here, but in terms of what if we design a new part, such as brakes, can we then improve? Build time, -2 days. We don't really need any of that. Deceleration, reliability. See, they're kind of rubbish. The good ones are kind of rubbish, really, in terms of what we do. But if we do deceleration +10, but that's probably the one where it hurts us the least. We can do you, and we can do you, right? Like, that's actually an improvement, isn't it? So we can definitely do that, and that will be an improvement in terms of brakes, and that is where we are weakest. So let's try and do that, and not spend too much in the second half of the season. Was something else popping up here? It looked like it was. Now everything looks fine, but yeah, we're definitely suffering in terms of headquarters. We are the worst headquarters. So what we might actually want to do is, I mean, we're going to slap down this one because we need that quite significantly. in terms of actually getting more drivers unlocked for us. So they're constructing that, and that will be finished. Given the fact that we have got an open driver slot by the end of the season. I mean, Antonov's already announced that he's leaving, so we definitely need to start improving that. Otherwise, after the next race, we'll get cracking with sponsors. Let's just see here what's popping up. Something's popping up, or is it just a race meeting or whatever? I'm not sure. We could move to another team if we wanted to, but no, we want to stay at least to another season here. Because we haven't had a chance to develop a car in full from the start. So you guys can't finish. Neither of you guys can actually finish that at the end. So we'll just try now and see here. Upcoming race report. Let's get that done in here. At Tondela, 32 lap race. Things expected to be dry, 10% chance of rain. So it's acceleration that will be favoured, and we'll be on soft and super soft, so that's going to be interesting. Yes, Scarlett, I too would like a ride handling facility, but we can't afford it, and we need to upgrade the factory first. Brakes finished being built. Let us very quickly get rid of that set of brakes and focus on that set of brakes. That seems like the best option entirely for us right now. What if we script that away? Can we then just focus as much as possible on improving those brakes? We might not want to use them for this race, depending on how little. Anyway, Hong Liao is a fairly decent driver within the European Racing Series. The good news is that he has a huge amount of potential, and with improvement he could become a real star. Hong's strength is feedback, but his consistency is his biggest shortcoming. Do we want to scout more drivers? Oh, look at that. A lot of designers. So, drivers, drivable series. Yeah, just all of them, really. No, we want to focus on single seaters. I mean, who else within the... Can we narrow it down? And we could do 18 to 22. See, that does help us out. And if we then just have them sorted out here by the racing series, and then we find our racing series, and then let's again see, aren't we scouting out her? Aren't we scouting her? Because the season expires in a very long time, so let's not do that. Ella Jonsdottir, we race against her. Nick Show. Both of those contracts expire by the end of the year, so let's see down here, just on a basis of what's presented here. I mean, it might be Ella Jonsdottir if that's a better one, so let's scrap her. They are being dealt out here as well. 17 Bruno. Nah, there's just a few stats there that doesn't look particularly good. You're just like really old. You, let's just shortlist her for the end of the year. She might be good for that, and you are running. Yeah, you'll not be available. So let's go into scouting. Let's see here. Who's expiring? Hannah down here, she's International GT. She's expiring by the end. So let's also shortlist her. She might also be worth going for. She hates leading. Nah. Then Hong Liao is also kind of good, and his contract expires by the end of the year. So, whoops. So they'll be flagged now as we come into something. Not sure what that was, but it was certainly something. The Asia Pacific Super Cup running at Phoenix. I'm not going to ask questions about why they are. I mean, technically America's part of Pacific, but usually if you describe something being a Pacific Championship, it's in Asia. But you know, who am I to judge? We got another scouting coming in here, and this is quite important. Seng Kui is a below average driver. Her potential is huge though, and given the chance to improve, she could become one of the best drivers, and she's quite young. I mean, we're going to shortlist her because, yeah, she's not looking very good at the moment. Meanwhile, how are we looking in terms of our championship? Let's have a look here. See Vexala sitting in 4th, and yeah, now on account of the fact that Antonov crashed in the last race, was a non-scorer, and he's now going to not score points for a couple of races, He's going to start tumbling in the driver standings. Meanwhile, Vononen is improving. She's up into 7th. But yeah, again, we're sitting in 4th in the Teams or Constructors Championship, and that is the important thing. More scouting being completed here. This is lovely, isn't it? I'm done with my scouting. Miss Yenqui is a below average driver. Her potential. Didn't we have that one? No, that's Hong Liao. I'm just being racist because I can't tell names apart. Oh well. What about our car in terms of our parts? How are we looking? Those brakes probably won't be used this race, I have to be fair. Let's just go in here. Yep. Morning, you have an injured... Whoops, that's not what we wanted to do. Injured driver. Yeah, leave you at home, mate. We don't really need you. You are out. Yeah, we're going to go again for the Gender Mile Media. I'm assuming it's Australian. It sounds very Australian. Let's go ahead and see parts-wise. Simone, you're not really going to have any of the good parts. I will be honest with you. You are going to be swapping out the engine here because you are, you know... Oh, no, actually, that's not worth it. Yeah, that's looking good out here. So, that is it. So, Varnanen is going to be our prioritised driver for this race. Round 4 of 10. Which will make this the final race we do on this stream, because that will split this season into 2 streams rather neatly. And with Easter coming up, is a lovely time to have at least a couple of streams. Wednesday will probably definitely happen, I think. I'm not sure yet, because things, you know, need to plan out with everything else that's going on and whatnot, but certainly it looks like it to happen. Anyway, we've got Vononen and Santoro who will be delivering her first race, and already, again, just being clever here, we can see that we need to improve in terms of you. That puts you within the given sectors in here. You, likewise, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you two will be needing a bit more aero. And boom, boom, off we go, take the practice session. Pause, send you out actually. Yep, we set it all out. Boom, 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 out you go. You guys can go out here again. We know Santoro is good with feedback. We kind of benefited with that from the last race at Milan. We're just bringing both out here. So we're going to get good info from her, and now she's going to get to convert that into a race performance. So this really is also a test to see whether or not she's going to deliver in a race, and whether or not she could potentially be what we move forward with as our second driver. Not happy at all about a few aspects here. Aero, downforce, we need more of that. We need a lot more of that, in fact. We probably need to drop the gearing a bit. That looks good. So send you on your merry way, if you wouldn't mind. Barnon, likewise, definitely wants more aero, I would imagine. Yeah, let's just throw in more aero. Shorten the gears, and we're moving the handling as well, and send you out here for a couple of laps, and we'll see what comes out of this, as it's looking fairly good. Well, hopefully it will be anyway. We don't really know yet. Weather-wise, it should be dry. Should be, yeah, it's hotter this time out by a couple of degrees. So yeah, we'll see what develops here. Just waiting for the feedback to come in. Those tweaks to the aero, great. So aero changes, good for Santoro. Aero also great for Varnanen. We'll just have to wait and see what that develops. So Varnanen setting a second fastest at this point. And Santoro is standing to improve. Let's bring in Varnanen and see what she says. Oh, look at that. Great all round. That could be a very competitive setup right now. So 95%. So I'm reckoning we're down to just tweaking these things here a bit. Just seeing here, perhaps with a bit of camber change, what that yields us. We might want to try out the soft tyres as well. I think we might be spending a lot of time on those softs. So let's see out here. Vononen goes out again here now. Softs might be the way to go, especially as the super softs are overheating pretty quickly. But we'll see here now with Varnanen. The gearing seems just right, so Santor might be... Oh, she's very happy. This could be very good indeed. Yeah, 96 again. We're just down here in a very, 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 very minute shot here. That's going to change it up here. Also get you out onto the soft tyres. We're just going to have to see what we get out of this in the final couple of minutes. Handling's feeling superb from Varnanen. So changes there, working good so far. And Santor's now heading out, so we should get some info. Oh, we can bring it over. Oh yeah, that's the 2D option that they have. Which, to be fair, is what I prefer playing in. It just feels a bit more like what a team manager would be looking at rather than the 3D. But I suppose this looks better for a video. But we'll just watch here and see where they are. Santor again, just taking it easy here, just not really pushing too hard. Just running out and getting that data. Let's try and get her out here for the final lap, get her to push hard and see what she can do. Likewise here, we just get them to speed it up. Just the right aero setup. We might just be bang on now for both of our drivers. So we will see what they can deliver. Santor seems to have been picking up the pace now. She's certainly running through here. Let's see. She's up into third. So yeah, she's got the pace if she's pushing. But whether or not she can deliver through the entire race distance remains to be seen. But we'll find that out in a very quick moment once we are out of practice and we go into the race. Here we are. Let's go into the race. Let's see first of all what the weather might promise us early doors. Dry it appears indeed. Oh, and she's starting on first, of course, due to not being in the championship. So race trim with soft tyre advantage. Likewise here. Car setup. Let's have a look here and see what they say. Yeah, 98%. Sweet. See it, yeah, just that tiny bit there. Might want to just move over onto its 32 lap race. What about fuel? So we've got a 13, so 13, 26. Yeah, so we might want to have a stint on Super Soft. That might be the final stint for her. Actually, can we see in terms of the grid set here? Everybody else will be on Super Softs, so actually we will also be on Super Softs for the first stint for her. Meanwhile, Varnanen won't be. Let's see here. We've actually made her setup worse, so let's not tweak any of that. Might just be there then. Let's just try that one out. She'll start on softs and then we'll be finishing on super softs. Which brings us again with a nice bit of diverging strategies, which is what it's all about. So here we are. Simone Santori starting on pole. And we are here. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we are. Green flag is out here. Yes, she's getting mugged down into second. Come on, hold on here, Santor. Hold on here, let's just get a bit more pushy. Oh, we could have run a bit lower fuel load as well, but that's what it is right now. Yeah, Varnanen might want to be conserving tyres. It's really, we can run 12, 13 laps in a stint. It's just a question of whether the tyres will deliver that. I'm not sure they will. But let's just try now and be a bit more aggressive here. We have to try and manage those tyres to get it up so we can do it on 2 stops. That seems to be the best strategy for us. Even Varnanen's dropping a bit now, but that has been happening every race it seems. Santori's consolidating in second place. Now we just need to try and manage those super softs, bring her off the high attack modes. Brake wise, you're looking very good too. Safety car's out. That is an absolute shit time. Ignore. Yeah, see, you called that one a bit late because we just made it past. We probably have pitted Varnanen. Yeah, we're not really going to pit anybody out here. Varnanen's too far forward, and Santor would definitely be dropping far too much time. So just try and back everything up, cool everything down, and conserve tyres. Actually, we need to probably keep the tyres on aggressive. I've no idea if that makes any difference. But just try and conserve that and try and conserve fuel as well. Now we're on the safety car. We just need a Tim Schenkin to come on with his safety car bolts and flicks. Safety car bolts and flicks. I missed that from Supercars. It was such a, oh, she's smoking. Claudia Dreyfus is smoking hot. Wow, we're burning up the tyres actually. Certainly not struggling with temperature under the safety car, are we? Christ alive. Can we just conserve tyres now? Bring the temperature down if we can, please. Yeah, you've been pushing too hard. I didn't think you'd actually overcook your tyres under a safety car. You might just be the first drivers in the history of driving who's cooked their tyres under safety car. Top work there. We're now going to get absolutely mugged on this restart, I can assure you. As the safety car is pulling away. Away the safety car is in the lane. Green flag is out. We can now accelerate away. We're leaving a big gap out here. As we're now back to green racing. Yeah, we're now being challenged hard from behind. Suntories. We need to increase our engine mode if we're not going to get mugged. Yeah, we are struggling massively with tyre temperatures. They are through the roof. Tyres, well, the ambient is sitting on 24. We don't have any kind of circuit temperature. She must be getting hounded from behind. No, it's not that bad. Evans is just in front of us. But Varnanen should be dropping. She's in that competitive midfield section. So she might be dropping pretty significantly out here. But we just need to make it another couple of laps. You just got to hang in there. Yeah, just conserve those tyres now. You just got to back it off and just try and bring the temperatures down. You want to pit? You're going to have to wait, mate. You're going to have to bloody wait. You need to just turn it up a bit. I mean, Jesus Christ. Push, push, push. You're going to have to bring it in this time. And then move you on to soft and fill you up. So that's going to be... Oh, that's going to be so close about making it to the end, but we're going to bring you in here. Very interesting, by the way, that this game managed to predict that these cars would be racing at Portimao just a handful of years later. But yeah, Varnanen here sitting in 13th. Suntory's pitted in. Her tyres are absolutely shot to pieces. You're struggling to overtake. I mean, we're kind of going to have to just let Varnanen drop down a bit. Spring you off of this. You're just going to have to try and make it last as long as possible. Extend this middle stint. Varnanen, you're just going to have to sort of keep it out. Yeah, I know your tyres are not helping your lap times, but you cook them under the safety car like an amateur. I mean, we are going to have to bring her in. We're going to have to bring her in. We might want to put her onto the... What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? I mean, we've got 2 full stints remaining here on soft, so that's what we're going to go for. There's nothing else we really can do because those tyres are just gone. We're not going to have tyre temperatures back with how worn they are. So this isn't really working out to our advantage at the moment, but it might come to us later on. Yeah, she's out here into 15th, but we are leading of those that have stopped. I would imagine that to change as soon as Gerard and Jonstadter pits, which they do now. So this is it now in terms of Santor, because she started on pole. Where's she going to be? Is she going to inherit the lead after this pit cycle? Well, certainly she's jumped Jonstott here in the cycle, so that's good. That was the car we were behind when we pitted her. So we've jumped at least one car, but somebody else might have jumped us in that cycle. And Jonstott here is on super soft, so they should be faster. Yellow flag in sector 1 as Jars crashed out. No safety car, however, no safety car. So yeah, we're now trying to just see if we can extend a bit. But Santor now drops in as Jonstott here overtakes. That's okay. We're not really expecting fireworks from Santor. She just needs to get us a decent point haul here. Meanwhile, Varnanen is stabilising down in 15th. With more pit stops yet to come. More are pitting right now. So this is all working out in front of us. Yeah, Santor into 3rd. And that might change as more cars pit. You can't get past Marchetta. We'll just have to try and suck it up right about now. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. Santor is still in 3rd. So yeah, Santor's definitely jumped, I think, 1 or 2 cars in the pit cycle. Up into 4th place now with Kalavanki sitting and pitting now from the lead, so she's going to drop down. So we're now 3rd. That's a really strong result if we can keep this up. Varnanen just has to keep motoring on. We lost that definitely with the dramatically warm tyres, which we are actually seeing again with Santor here. We just move over to tyre conservation so we can make it to the end. So again, 18 laps. I would like her to get this set of tyres to hold out until later on and not just burn them all off now, because I would like to do this on 2 stops, but I'm not sure we can. Varnanen seems to be much gentler on her tyres than Santor, because she's not running them very hot on the medium mode, so that's good. Varnanen is definitely on target. I'm not sure Santor can make this work. She kind of minimise. We minimised the game by mistake, but Varnanen again sitting in 11th. Santor's here in 3rd. Let's just watch it from here. It's just a lot nicer, I think. It gives you a bit better of a picture of what's happening in terms of the overview. You are struggling to get past Mello. You're just going to have to make it work here. As we are in 3rd, you're seeing quite a lot of tyre wear. Yeah, but again, tyre temperatures are stabilising here. Yeah. We're now seeing issues down here. We're now dropping down in behind Santor and Beauchamp, but we're going to have to be happy with that. I mean, it's her first real race, so she's doing a very good job indeed. Varnanen sitting in 11th, and we are coming up here now with 14 laps remaining. So you just need to hold off, Santor, just a couple more laps. Just a couple more laps. You need to also conserve your tyres. Just mind those tyres. You just need to make it last a bit longer. Santor in 5th. A couple of the back markers seem to have already pitted. We've now got some of the super softs pitting out in front. They're going to struggle to make it in. So I think in terms of the pit cycle, we're going to be looking fairly strong here, as we will be pitting in. We'll be bringing in Santor now, going on to another set of softs down here with 12 laps remaining. Let's just bang it in here and see. Yeah, that looks good. That's all good. And then Varnanen will be making at least another lap here. And then Santor will have to try and mind. Oh, we've got a problem on the front right. That wasn't too bad really in terms of a pit stop time. Yeah, you just try now and just go down low engine mode. Just conserve tyres. There you go. That's all we needed. Now just mind that. You can't get past. You don't really need to get past him, but you need to pit in now. This is a Chip Ganassi Racing late starter pit call right here. Wowzers. So yeah, just bring you in here. We can definitely make up that part. Condition, pit strategy. Just check out here. Tyre wise, yep, looking good. And bang right in there. And no BMW to shoot up our insides and brake. Oh, suspension. Great stuff. Let's see here how this plays out. I think Santor's dropped a few positions. Yeah, she's definitely given up a few spots in this. Let's just get Varnanen to conserve a bit of fuel just so it looks good. Santor's conserving that as well. Yeah, loads of positions have been dropped. I'm not sure some of these can make it to the end. I mean, Rogers, no, Valdez, Rogers, and Jonsdottir, I'm imagining they will have to make a pit. El Sadat will have to make a pit. Sabado will have to make a pit stop. So we're probably going to be better off than it looks right now. I'm not sure Varnanen can get up where we need her to be. But she's still trying to make a bit of fuel out here. She's putting on her best Richard Westbrook impression and just using the bunny slippers to get as much fuel extension as possible out of what we have. How many laps remaining? We must be very close to making it to the end with her. I mean, it's alright, we're trying to fuel extend here. It's alright. So now Santor's further up, that's looking good. It's going to be interesting to see what else we can get out of her. Not quite sure. I mean, it's going to be quite close with Varnanen in terms of fuel. We're just going to have to hope we can make up enough, because I thought we were closer than we actually are. I thought it was just like 0.3 of a lap she needed to make up, but it isn't. So hopefully that works out well. But Santor's now sitting in 7th. Down here, we can actually go and move her up into a regular tyre pushing, because her tyres are getting quite cold. Is there something under the front wing? Nah, mate, it's fine. We're not seeing any issues from here. Keep going, keep pushing. So she's up into 5th place. That's really strong for a debut driver. And now Jonsdottir is in, so that'll be 4th place. That's 4th place. Should be anyway, or it might not be. Jonsdottir is out. Yeah, she's going to be out in front of us on fresh super soft, so she's going to have that one. Varnanen still hasn't quite made it in terms of fuel numbers. So she's going to be very close. It's going to be scarily close for her. I mean, Santor's got 4. Let's just pause that there. 4.4 to... Oh, Varnanen might not make this. That might be the second time I've cocked up her fuel strategy. No! It's safe now. Safe now. Quality. She's done it. She did what we needed her to do. With 2 laps remaining. No, you don't need to fix any of your parts, mate. Just push hard now. Actually, no, you don't really need to be pushing anywhere. Well, you've got a car behind, so we can try and bridge a gap here. Let's move up here and have a look at her. See who's behind it. Sadat, who's behind. We've got a decent gap going. And tyres looking fairly decent for her, Sadat, as well. It's a bit of a shame you can see what the others are doing. It kind of takes away some of the strategy. No, you can't. There's 2 laps remaining, Varnanen. Shut up. So let's just see here what we can do. I mean, we are running these tyres down. Final lap beginning. All we really need now is for somebody further up to have problems. Varnanen up into 8th. We can just go ahead now and absolutely murder those tyres. We don't need them. Race over. Whoops, press the wrong button. Varnanen's not really going to get there, I reckon. Meanwhile, Santor across the line in 5th on debut. Good drive, good drive. Varnanen as well, looking good. P8. Strong result for both of our drivers. Coming into this event, let's see here by the end of it where that leaves us in terms of the Constructors' Championship. Of course, Santor, having not scored any points yet, will be certainly very in good position to get good. I can't even talk now. Will be in a strong position to get points here in the next couple of rounds until she jumps up in the championship. She, of course, at pole on account of having no championship points, but finishing 5th was a strong drive here, but there should not be anything for us anyway. And yeah, 5th getting 16 points and 14 points for Varnanen. That's looking good. That sees Varnanen up into 6th in the Drivers' Championship, sitting some 8 points behind Jean-Pierre Guérin, and then Edda Jonsdottir and Andre Sabadoux, Jean-Francois Beauchamp and Sergio Arabiola leading. We're not going to win the Drivers' Championship. Sergei Antonov drops down with 31 points. But more worrying for him, after just one race, Simone Santori has 16 points. That's half his point in one race. So I'm not really feeling that terrible about him moving away, to be honest. So what's that going to do for the team's championship as well? That's going to be the crucial factor here as we come out of this event. Because we didn't see that there, of course. We're going to see that in a second. Which, again, out here we can see Sergei Antonov, he's not doing anything. Apparently her morale drops, which I don't think is correct. Finishing 5th on debut should probably yield a bit better than -17 morale. But she's improving overall, that's looking good. As is Varnanen, she's improving, her morale's looking good. And indeed, we'll go ahead here, we'll take that and see what it is. Nothing. Boom, 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 boom. Looking good. And so where are we in Teams Championship? We are sitting 4th. And it's a steady 4th. We have 19 points up to Garuda Racing, with Firebird MRT sitting another 11 points ahead. And Eastwood Motorsport leading the standings with 137. Behind us we've got Civil Racing on 87, Archer BMR with 78, Octane Racing with 67, Dragon Race Team China, no, Dragon Race Team China, if we're Donald Trump, with 61 points, ZRT Autosport with 43, and in 10th and final position there is Predator Racing Group with the best name of them all, but only with 23 points. So that was a strong running by Santor on debut, and you have to say she's a good candidate to take over from us. Oh, well, not over from us, but over from Antonov at the end of the year. We have a couple of reports here that we can just catch up with. 25 hours to fix, because of course now the reports and all of that. Anyway, Katie Linares is one of the weaker drivers within the European Racing Series. It's probably not worth stacking a huge amount on her potential for improvement, as she's operating near the limits of her driving ability. Katie's fitness is a strength and her weakness is her overtaking. Anyway, if you want to scout other drivers, yes, thank you, Kellen. Indeed, a pit crew report. We had one pit mistake. It wasn't particularly significant. 11 seconds average. We can now have an interview with Motorsport. I'm assuming that would be Auto Apto. Simone Santoro was beaten by Jean-Pierre Charard. Would you consider bringing him in next? Why are you comparing our reserve driver's debuting performance with somebody who's high up in the championship? No way I have 100 belief in our drivers. So yeah, driver won't even discuss terms with you. Yeah, Joggo mate, there's hardly any chance of that happening. Anyway, so scouting wise, we have got some reports out here. Any reports that we haven't read? Don't think so. Oh, anybody that we can scout? Well, not really. So, I think we're going to wrap it up here, being halfway through the season, 4 rounds down. Well, we done round 1, 2, 3, about halfway through the season. We have to just can't do numbers, we'll just quickly save here, just so we're safe. I hope you've enjoyed this nearly 3-hour look at Motorsport Manager. It is, if I'm to sum up this game, it's sort of hard to describe because there's a lot of good ideas. It just feels like it comes up a bit short in some areas. But it's good for a bit of emerging storytelling and all of that, so I'm definitely going to continue with this. It's quite good fun to develop this as it is. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll do more in the near future, also throw in a couple of other things as well, just because we can. So thank you for watching this time round. Goodbye. Be safe, everybody. Social distancing. Get that lovely vaccine once it's here for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Goodbye for now.